Is the mic working now? Okay. Jesus Christ, I can't do anything right. Me no hear. Are you still no heary? Okay, it's working now. Yeah, okay, Jessica's on her way. Yeah, send it to her by email. All right. So I guess I'll go do that. What's going on, people? As you see, I'm on this fucking channel. All because I decided did that all fuck up? Did I go offline? I think I did shit. I was just sitting there talking. It's all because of Jessica. It's all her fault. Jessica, if you're listening, I sent it to your other email. Because every time I do it the other way. Okay, so I'm guessing you guys didn't hear anything I fucking said. Um, everyone bow to my wrench. But well, stop bowing to her wrench, Jessica. Get in here. Sargon got in a fight with Antifa. Antifa got their butts kicked, so I put that video up. And because I put that video up, I think Antifa, uh, I don't know, maybe the bots started to look at my videos more, and they flagged Antifa versus Jesus Truck of Peace. It's when the Antifa guys were yelling at a guy across the street, so the Antifa guy runs across the street and gets hit by a fucking truck. Yeah, that got flagged. So now I'm on a 3-month. I mean, I'm fighting it, but it's fucking YouTube and I'm a small channel, so they probably won't even fucking look at it. So that channel won't be able to do live streams for 3 months. So at least I got this channel. Jessica, you're here, but you're muted.
I'm here.
Okay.
Can you see me?
I can see you.
No, like me?
Oh, your avatar.
Okay. Okay.
So yeah, so live streams will be on here until further notice. And I did start another channel where I think I'm just going to start putting my videos there. I think I'm going to let the other channel kind of die off. I mean, I'll put stuff up here and there, but for the most part, I think it's going to die. I mean, they're flagging everything.
Well,
I can't monetize anything. There's been so many videos that I go to monetize it, and as soon as I do, they block it from even being seen by anybody. So yeah, this channel's fun. Yeah, 7,000 fucking people in.
Well, it's kind of nostalgic to be streaming on the Cynics 2 channel again.
Yeah. We got 7 watchers.
Yay.
Yay.
Woo!
All right. So you see Sargon's.
You're not gonna ask me how I'm doing?
How you doing? What's taking forever to get in here?
I'm doing
The rhythm's all
poorly.
off. Why are you doing poorly?
Because.
Just because.
My
That's good
car
enough.
all fucked up.
Your car got
Just
fucked up?
because, damn it. Yeah, my car got fucked up.
What happened?
A stupid buck ran right into it. I was driving down the road. It was nighttime and it was up ahead. And I saw it would have been perfectly fine had it just stayed right there. But no, decided to run alongside my fucking car. Like, right, and I could see it staring at me with like the stupid in its eyes. And it's like, I know what I'm gonna do. And it jumped right in front and fucking, I ran it over. And it fucked up it jacked up my headlights. I used to think those things were so majestic and beautiful. No, they're fucking stupid. They want to die. Those fuckers want to die. Yeah. I have
always
grown to think
thought,
with nature.
yeah, if hunters could figure out a way to put little headlights on bullets, the fucking deer would just jump right in front of them.
Well, I asked like this one hunter why they don't just use head beams. Apparently, it's illegal out here. So.
Yeah, a lot of salt licks are illegal in some places.
Mm-hmm.
And it should be. That's
made it through winter. It made it through hunting season. All to be killed. These fuckers want to die, okay? Don't feel bad for them. They want to die.
Well, yeah, probably his whole family got ran over by people like you. Yeah, sit there and watch his little kids dying.
Yeah, and getting eaten.
Yeah.
They live amongst gods in metal traveling boxes.
So Jacob, we'll just call him Jacob. Antifa attacked another thing set with Richard Spencer. 20 got arrested. Hold on. I heard.
What's going on, chat? The fuck are you up to? How's my microphone? Is my microphone all fucked up? I have to use this different headphones. Of course, it's in California. Of course.
Did you talk about what I just said?
Oh, what?
Richard Spencer was giving a speech. Antifa attacked. 20 got arrested.
Oh yeah, I heard there was like it was a state of like rioting or something.
I haven't looked into it at all. I'll go put that video up and get another fucking strike.
Whose daughter wants to live stream? Who's drunk talking about?
My daughter, probably. You didn't hear her? That's why I had to mute it, because you Daddy,
no,
tablet,
that makes sense
tablet,
now.
Daddy, did you hear me? Daddy,
she has
Daddy.
These stories to share.
All right. Share away. They're not from last month.
I killed Bambi's. I killed Bambi's dad, Sean G. Hello?
Yeah.
Oh,
Actually, hunters killed Bambi's dad.
Sean G, you're being historically inaccurate.
Well, it's kind of crazy. You think about how Disney movies were back then. I mean, that was like, I remember that shit as a little kid. Like his dad being killed and then
Wait
his
a minute.
mom
Yeah,
being
his
caught
dad
in a
didn't
fire.
die.
Or no, his mom was
His
his
dad didn't
mom?
die.
But yeah, they both
His
died.
mother got shot.
Yeah, his mother got
Did the
shot and
dad
his
die?
dad
I think they made it. No.
in the
This is
forest
serious
fire.
here. No, that's when the dad appeared. His dad was like non-existent until Bambi almost died in a fire, and the dad was like, "Follow me if you want to live."
You know what? I don't remember at all. I
He
remember.
showed him how to get out.
Well, I was just so traumatized by something dying that whole movie got fucked up in my head.
It was so fucking sad. That's trauma-based mind control for you.
Old Yeller gets shot at the end.
Who did?
Old Yeller?
Yeah. Oh, you know what? I didn't understand as a kid. Like, why can't you just like keep him locked up? Okay, sure, he's mad with rabies, but don't kill him.
Well, didn't
Just
they
keep him
remake?
contained. It'll be fine.
Didn't they remake that
I'd
movie?
be the fucker that during the zombie apocalypse would keep all of my relatives alive in like little compartments.
You'd be dead.
And I'd feed them animals
No, you'd be
and
dead.
shit. No, I wouldn't.
Yeah, you're right. You'd be a zombie because you can't die.
No, I would perfect how to do that. It'd be fine. Did you see Herschel? He did that. He got away with it for a while.
Yeah.
Herschel from the Walking
For a while. That's the whole point. For a while. The end game is what we're looking at here.
I could do it differently though, damn it.
Yeah, sure.
So Florida school removes teacher who hosted white nationalist podcast. Did you hear about that?
You cut out. What'd you say?
Florida school removes teacher who hosted white nationalist podcast.
Yeah, I heard about this. Did you go and watch the podcast that she was on?
I didn't, but I read an article about it.
Yeah,
I guess she was a social studies teacher.
Yeah. Oh, I thought she was a history.
So that's kind of interesting. Well, according to this article, she was social studies. Well, he's gone now, so I'll wait for that point till he gets back. But here are some of the examples of the things that she shared on her social media. She shared, "It isn't supremacist or hateful to prefer your own people over others." And she shared a pic of a workbook that mentions confronting racism in the classroom. As if we didn't know this happened already. You shut your mouth, surfing the Kali Yoga. I'm bringing groundbreaking perspective on it. Well, I wanted to wait to share this part.
What happened?
Cynics was there.
Oh,
there you are.
I'm hearing the whole time. I just got to pause it because my kid
were you?
Shut up.
Okay. Well, for one thing, she used a Russian surname for her podcast. I thought that was interesting. Because, you know, the whole like Russian conspiracy stuff. Anyways, moving on.
Was she being a character?
As far as I'm concerned. Well, I think that's what she's trying to claim now.
Because that would make sense.
It was all for the lulz.
Yeah, if you're being no, I don't think that. I haven't looked at. I haven't seen.
I strongly doubt it.
No, yeah, but I strongly doubt it as well. But if you're going to make that defense, that's the way to do it. I mean, I was being a Russian. Obviously, I was faking. I was pretending I was being Russian. I'm not Russian.
Yeah, but okay. She kind of screwed the pooch a little bit because she interviewed Lana Locktift on her show, and she told her about how one time the principal approached her, asking if she was sharing her her political views with the students.
Yeah.
And she laughed as she told Lana that she lied and said she wasn't, and ha ha ha, he totally believed her. So she has a recording of her basically saying that she did. And then they go on how to like share with children white nationalist views. So that's going to be hard for her to explain away.
It's so dumb. She got caught just because somebody recognized her and was like, "Hey, I think that's my kid's social studies teacher."
Yeah.
I mean, why wouldn't you? God, I hate to give her or people like her ideas, but why wouldn't you hide your face? And especially a teacher, you're kind of out
Mm-hmm.
there. You're not, the guy at the counter at the gas station. But should she be
True.
fired?
I don't think she. Well, no, because I think there's a bit of a hypocrisy here. Um, I mean, when you have actual classes talking about the problem with whiteness, and I mean, obviously, there's a
Well,
lot
this was
of
high
other
school, right?
people's. What? No, this
This
is
is
is this preschool?
preschool. Okay, so they don't have those classes in preschool.
No, they don't. But I doubt
What
she like
preschool? They don't
actually
have
taught.
social studies in preschool.
I know. Wait a minute. There's something not right here.
Our
Um.
news might not be accurate, people. This might not even fucking happen. We might get
No,
our
this could
shit from
be.
like the Onion and
Uh-huh.
4chan, and
We are the onion. We're reinventing the onion.
we'll give you 3 stories. 2 are fake, and 1 is real.
You figure it out. You get a wrench if you can. Um. Yeah, I don't know. She's a teacher, okay? She's a teacher. But anyways, other teachers are able to spew their ideological leanings all the time.
Like what?
However, like white male supremacy in our society and you know, male aggression and how they're keeping women down and blah blah blah. Oh, okay. Anyways, for instance, this article itself goes on to cite a study done by Yale that found that preschool, and this is where I got the preschool teachers thing from, found that preschool teachers showed a tendency to observe black males more closely than their white counterparts, revealing how they can be judged differently. Then the
Right?
article goes on,
Maybe they're paying attention to them because they're doing shit.
because they have too much energy and they're getting in trouble more.
Maybe they're
Yeah.
throwing shit at the teacher. Yeah, I'd pay attention to that kid too.
Well, I mean, if races, biologically are different, and so like we act a bit different based on that, maybe kids that, black kids are more energetic than white kids on average, so they get in trouble more.
Well, I just hate when they say these studies and they don't tell you what questions are you asking. What's your criteria for because
what was the examples? What was the sample size? And
yeah, oh, that's a big one too. I love that.
mm-hmm.
But if you're a smart person, you can make a list of questions to make it, no matter who answers the questions, that they're going to get a certain answer every time.
Mm-hmm. I was distracted by beautiful white. I was going to type something, but I decided not to. Anyways,
you have a microphone. You can just talk to her. You don't have to type stuff.
I know. I like to do both. Why can't I do both? Don't limit me. Anyways, the article goes on to quote some professor dude about how dangerous and pervasive these biases are. How those that didn't even realize they are racist teach the new generation to be racist. So the article itself injects its own ideological bullshit.
Yeah.
Basically, all white people are instinctively racist.
Well, that's true.
And so, well, here's the thing, though. So, okay, here's this woman that's getting fired because she actually legitimately hosted like a white nationalist podcast. But this article is trying to make it seem like even white people that don't think they're racist are inherently racist and damaging and creating more racism for future generations. Meaning, if you're white, then you're automatically a suspect.
Right.
Hey, Jose.
The article was written by an idiot, right?
Probably.
I mean, it's not a respected.
Oh yeah, it was a respected. Well, I don't know about respected, but it's like a normal. It's one of the high ones.
It's an internet website.
No, it's like, I don't know, like the New Yorker or something.
Yeah, it's even better.
It's a thing that most people listen to.
No.
Yes, they do.
That's the biggest problem with people on the internet. They hear something like that. Well, it's the New Yorker, so a bunch of people listen to it. No, a bunch of liberals listen to them. The people that already agreed with the idea before they even read the article, those are the people listening to them. Everybody else is sane and like, this is stupid.
I don't know. I think the majority of people just stay out of it in general, and they don't even realize that how those liberals have infected politics and the lawmakers and stuff, because the lawmakers, they read that shit, they believe it. Majority of them. That's what I'm going to say.
Okay. The sky's falling, people.
It's falling. Buy this insurance from me.
Well, I'd like to know what exactly she was saying on the podcast, though. I mean, if she was saying "fuck all these brown people," then yeah, she probably shouldn't have a job teaching kids.
Yeah, especially she made like gassing jokes and stuff.
Yeah,
that's. I mean, I wouldn't want my teacher to see
not
my
kids.
kid's
No, you
teacher to
can't
be
teach
see
my
him
kid,
unhinged.
man. I don't mind
Yeah.
you doing a lot of stuff, but not teaching my kid.
Yeah. Yeah.
Exactly. That's why I say fuck the History Channel. The History Channel. That turned in such a joke when I saw Ancient Aliens on it.
Anyways. So a ruling declaring a Veterans Cross Memorial unconstitutional to the Supreme Court after Fourth Circuit rehearing denied.
Tell you what?
There is a what's it called? There's a Veterans War Memorial that's like of a cross, and they're declaring it unconstitutional. And so they want to tear it down. They're citing the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment, right? But apparently the Establishment Clause of the First Amendment is actually supposed to support people being able to put up such monuments without the government interfering. And it was used to defend. In 2005, the Supreme Court held that the 10 Commandments in Texas was in fact constitutional using the Established Clause of the First Amendment. So they're trying to take our history away, our culture.
What, a cross?
Yeah, it's
Where's
this
the cross
big
at?
cross. It's a veterans memorial. Okay. Let's see here.
Don't they have crosses on the tombstones? And like
sure.
Jewish signs? Okay, so they gonna buff out all the crosses on the tombstones?
Oh, probably eventually, but they're probably say what's a little bit different about that versus this is on public ground or whatever. It's the Bladensburg World War I Vet Memorial, also known as the Peace Cross. It was erected in 1925 by the American Legion to honor the lives of 49 men from the Prince George County who died during the war. It has a plaque that reads, "The right is more precious than the peace. We shall fight for the things we have always carried nearest our hearts. To such a task we dedicate ourselves." And the site is mainly used by the American Legion for Memorial Day and Veterans Day celebrations. And they're gonna tear it down.
Who's trying to tear it down?
Oh, fucking liberals, and they're succeeding in it though.
I mean, is that what it is? Did a group of 5 people show up and have a little petition saying, "Hey, we want this down, guys"?
Well, it went to the fourth.
Somebody wrote an article about how the sky is falling and they're going to take our crosses. Or is this like in legitimately the court system right now?
And it's in the court system. I said that at the beginning.
And they're about to take, and they found them on their side.
Yeah, I think it's going to the Supreme Court, or it was found unconstitutional by the Supreme Court after the Fourth Circuit rehearing was denied.
That's just stupid.
Yeah.
A lot of times
this is why the church used to burn people.
Yeah, a lot of times this is the atheists are doing shit like this. It's not like leftists; it's just asshole atheists.
Aren't they one and the same?
Not always.
Really?
I don't think there got to be atheist Republicans.
Sure, yeah, but I mean, most crazy ass liberals are also fucking atheists. Atheist assholes.
Yeah, I bet the rate's a lot higher.
Mm-hmm. So you ready for the next piece of news?
Yep.
Okay. Indonesian villagers kill rare tiger after believing it was a shapeshifter. Yep.
We live in 2018, people.
Mm-hmm.
The life of Pi is real.
Never saw that.
I just know it had a tiger in a boat.
Oh, Okay.
other magical things.
Hopefully no one else saw it either, so they will be like,
I don't
what?
think anybody did. It seemed like a really bad and boring movie.
It really did. It really did.
So what'd they do? Did they kill it?
Okay, yeah. So remote and wait, yeah, they killed it. They killed it and they gutted it and they threw it. They hung it up in the air as a warning to other shapeshifters.
What
They
other?
know who they are.
Now, why did they think it was a shapeshifter?
They had been hanging around the village a little too long.
But did they think it changed from a turtle to a tiger? Or
I have no idea. The article reads, remote Indonesian villagers who were becoming increasingly fearful that a shapeshifter was hiding out in their community killed and dismembered a rare Samaritan whatever tiger because they thought it harnessed supernatural powers.
okay, well
Supernatural powers.
this might be a thing against immigration now. Because if you can convince the whole fucking group that this tiger is a shapeshifter,
she's a witch. Get her.
Yeah, we probably don't want those people here.
Well, apparently that shit still happens all the time where they kill suspected witches.
I did a story it was in Africa somewhere, where they were killing bald-headed people and they were splitting open their head because they think that's where they are hiding their money. Like if you were bald, that's like a sign that you have wealth. And then they would chop up the bodies and give parts to witch doctors for their ooga booga magic stuff.
Jeez. Well, the article goes on and says, unfortunately, they would not listen. They insisted on killing the tiger, says someone from the Indonesian Natural Resource Conservative Agency. Geez, that's a lot to say. The locals hung up the body for display. After an investigation, they discovered the tiger is missing canine teeth, claws, skin from its face, tail, and body parts that can be used in medicine and sold in the black market. So it could just actually be that. The majority of the town was persuaded because of shape-shifting, but there could be people that were like knew that they could make out big on this.
So there was one smart guy in this village.
Yeah.
Who said, "Hey, I can make some money. I want to trick these dummies into killing this tiger for me."
Mm-hmm.
Okay, he can come over here, but the rest got to stay.
The snake oil salesman?
He's the smart one. He's apparently the smart one. So
wow, good capitalism for you.
It's so sad that people in today's world just believe stuff like that. Or I guess
they're in yesterday's world.
Well, there's people that still believe in Bigfoot. There's a guy you can go up to like Seattle and they'll take you like a guide to find Bigfoot. And the guy puts out like peanut butter and jelly sandwiches because Bigfoot likes peanut butter and jelly sandwiches, apparently.
Okay.
That's what he tells you.
Well, luckily he should be happy that he doesn't like something more expensive.
So we got crazy all over the world.
That wasn't that funny.
Well, the dude's insane. It's hard to make a joke when the guy's just insane.
They killed the tiger with a spear.
Oh, yeah.
They went old school with it.
Well, they don't have a choice. They don't have fucking guns.
Mm-hmm. Well, what?
Did you imagine fucking hunting a tiger?
Yeah. Well, I guess it was like chilling underneath someone else's house and shit.
What kind of fear do you have holding that spear, looking down at a tiger, thinking, if I miss, this motherfucker's going to eat my face off?
Well, I'm wondering if the tiger was like super tamed because it's not used to being killed and being fed or something. So it's like, what the fuck, guys?
Yeah, I thought we had a deal.
What the fuck?
I kept the shapeshifters out, and
it's a group of them coming up. Hey guys, what's going on? What do you do with them spears? What's that about? What's a familiar sound?
What else?
ABC News. Oh shit! Hold on a minute. My light turned off.
Don't kill your battery.
I set up like this little office space at the back of my car.
Well, it's not freezing anymore, right?
I got a big jacket on. It kind of like, it gets really cold at night.
Doesn't.
And like terribly warm during the day. Oh shit, did I break my glasses? I did not. I am okay. ABC News has a title. It goes, on guns, companies are getting out ahead of the politicians.
Say again? ABC News has
on
what?
Guns, this article. I'm not living out of my car serving the Cali Yoga. Damn it. ABC News has this article. It goes, on guns, companies are getting out ahead of the politicians. The article tries to parallel how companies were forced to desegregate in the 60s, causing good political change, and how in the 80s, General Motors, Coca-Cola, among dozen other U.S. corporations, pulled out of apartheid-era South Africa after years of pressure from people. You know, they're trying to parallel that with today's companies, like pulling away from selling guns to kids under 21 and not selling, you know, machine rifles and whatnot.
Okay.
I guess 4 major retailers, like, they slapped restrictions on gun sales that are stronger than the federal law, this article says, like MetLife, Hertz, Delta Airlines have cut ties with the NRA, Walmart, Kroger, Dick's Sporting Goods won't sell guns to...
Kroger.
Yeah.
Why does Kroger sell fucking bullets and guns? I didn't know grocery
I'd love
stores
to know the town. Yeah, I would love to know the town that actually needs guns sold at the grocery store.
But you said Delta. Do you have the story about Alabama and Delta?
Mm-mm.
So because Delta decided to do this to the NRA members, I think it was Georgia, decided to not vote for a tax break for Delta and their fuel cost. It's like a $50 million tax break. So as long as Delta is going to say, fuck you NRA people, Alabama is going, or Georgia, whoever it was, is going to say, fuck you and give us 50 million for fuel. Now, there are some people upset because I was like, oh, that's government. You can't, you know, have government people going after a private company. That's not right. And other people would say to that, well, what if the people that voted that person in would want that? So I guess as long as you can show that the people would agree with you, which I'm sure they fucking do. Yeah, I think the politicians are okay to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like tax breaks for the fucking companies anyway, so fuck them.
Yeah. I agree. And as far as I'm concerned, these people that aren't selling weapons anymore, like Walmart, I know around town, like everyone's all like pissed off at Walmart because they won't sell to
why
people under 21. No, they're like we're gonna boycott Walmart. I'm like, you're
there's
not gonna fucking boycott.
You're not gonna shops all throughout the country.
Well, and places like around here, like Walmart's the only place to really go shopping. You're not gonna boycott shit. However, it's good, I think, for the money to go to the actual gun-loving folk out there. It'll give smaller businesses more money.
Yeah.
So, yeah,
exactly. That's a good thing. That's actually a good way to look at it. I didn't think about it that way.
It's in my notes.
But you want Creepy Frank, who owns the gun shop, to have more money? Because it's always Creepy Frank that owns those fucking places.
Missing an arm and like...
He's always missing a finger.
Kind of like fucked up from war and stuff. Always talking about, you know, the big one that's coming. The big warhead. Israel to deport LGBT asylum seekers to Rwanda and Uganda despite likely prosecution. So that's some shit, huh?
What?
My you jumped into it so
quickly, I didn't hear the first part.
Israel to deport LGBT asylum seekers to Rwanda and Uganda despite likely prosecution.
Huh. Are they sending the people that are from that country back to their country?
Yes.
Okay. See, that's not how you wrote this. That's not how you...
That's how... I know, but that's how the title goes.
You're like, they're kicking all the gay people out and they're sending them to places that are going to kill them. That's not what it was at all.
No, but that is how... Okay, so I got this from...
Well, they're just... no, hold on.
No, I'm agreeing with you here. I'm trying to explain more. the article I got this from was from a liberal Jewish article, so they wrote it specifically like that for a purpose, because they're trying to, get their side, to get all rallied against the more conservative side of Israel, right?
Well, Israel
And
kicking everybody out.
Well, what it actually is that these people want to give LGBT community a stronger standing, like automatic citizenship, like they normally do to children and women, because of the fact that they face high prosecution in their own countries.
Mm-hmm.
But Israel is like, no, that's not. Our position is that sexual orientation isn't protected by the convention, and this is an unjustified expansion of the convention. That's what their representative said about it. So
I haven't looked into it enough. I'm not sure. Why is Israel trying to kick everybody out now?
what do you mean?
Why is Israel, the government, trying to kick all the people out that they invited in?
Are they doing that?
That's what I'm hearing. That's what that article you just read was about that.
Well, if you actually read, though, it's not necessarily that they're kicking them out. Just specifically the LGBT, they're not giving them special treatment.
No,
like a fast track 2 coming.
The fast track
to being accepted in the country, like they normally do for women and children. And I guess in like in the European nations, I think they do get a special clause for being LGBT. But Israel's like, nah.
Well, I would if you're taking them in anyways. I mean, yeah, I guess that'd be a concern.
Yeah,
I mean, it's a reason why they're coming, because they're going to be killed. But no, Israel. I just keep on hearing that Israel's trying to kick all the people out, and there's a Sarah Silverman, I think it was, her sister's over in Israel now, trying to, keep all the illegal or the legals, the immigrants, in the country. But I guess you don't know either. So
Pax says gays for thee, but not for me, Goy. So
Pax is creepy Frank, you know that, right?
I think so.
No, he says it. He literally said, I'm
Did he say his name? He's Jenkins? Isn't he Crowbar Jenkins? So I thought that this is a bit crass to share, I think. But also it kind of shows how backwards these third world countries are. One asylum seeker reported he was viciously raped because he was gay. And I'm just thinking, like, how the fuck does that happen? Like,
you're a gay boy. Get over here. We teach you a lesson.
Yeah. Yeah. What the fuck? Shouldn't they all be, like, is that like a problem that just keeps happening? Well, now you're gay. Now you're gay. Like,
it's
because it's kind of gay, right?
Yeah, no, yeah. Having sex with a man because he's gay is gay.
Maybe they were women, we don't know. He's gay, so he didn't like it. I don't know. Moving on. I just wrote this down because for anyone out there that's not like realizing how free America is and how fucked up other countries are as far as freedoms go, Uganda is considered one of the most dangerous places in the world for gays. They have laws that greatly restrict their freedom, including life in prison for gay relations.
What?
Oh, yeah.
No. Yeah. Uganda's in Africa, ain't it?
Yeah.
Now, I learned...
Yes, sir.
I learned from Tarkik that there is zero crime in Africa.
Oh.
And Tarkik would not lie to me about
not
this.
Tarkik. Not the great Tarkik. Well, what about in Rwanda? Homos aren't legal at all in Rwanda. Members of the LGBT community don't have equal rights and face harassment by authorities, including verbal and physical violence, extortion by soldiers, arbitrary arrests by the police, and discrimination in housing, employment, and education. That's Africa for you.
Well, if the alt-right had their state, wouldn't it be the same there?
As far as gays go, I don't know.
Yeah.
That's the big question mark.
I think
we all kind of wonder.
I think gays are okay there.
I think gays get a pass in the alt-right.
Dude, what? No. I've
seriously heard people that were like, yeah, because there are gays that like are leaders in the alt-right.
Well, yeah, no, I'm sure there are people. I'm talking about once you actually have the state and you actually have the people that want to live there in the state. Once the rubber meets the road, no, they're not welcome.
Well,
the majority will be like, sorry, Billy.
you think so?
Yeah, you gotta go, Billy.
They probably all have Asian wives too, to be quite frank. Not sure if I want the alt-right's version of the what's it called? Ethno state. I'll wait for the states to secede, thank you. That's my plan.
This might be why David Duke doesn't want to come on my show.
Sorry, I had to fix my light. What?
So this might be why David Duke doesn't want to come on my show.
Why?
Because I say stuff.
Maybe. Could be.
Yeah, apparently he's fine with talking to Jessica, but as they put it, they're not too sure about me. So we're not sure if we're going to be able to, and I think I think that's why he didn't show up on Andy Worski. I think after some of the later interviews he's been doing where he maybe not looked all that great, they're really going to watch where he goes.
Yeah, so I wound up calling him.
Oh,
I wound up what?
Yeah, go ahead.
I wound up calling him. I just got out of Bible study. I was like, I know, I'll call the ex-leader of the KKK because that's what you're thinking when you get out of Bible study. I was bored. And he's all like, so tell me about what town you live in. And I'm like, oh, I'd rather not give my location. And he's like, oh, well, I know what state you're in. And then said my state. And I'm like, how do you know that? And then right when I said it, I realized, oh yeah, dumbass, my zip code.
It's still creepy though to say. Where do you live? Oh, you don't want to tell me where I know what state you live in.
I know. I was like, what are you indicating?
Whoa, that's weird.
Why do you want me to know you know? I immediately regret this.
Damn it, I told them I didn't want to call him.
All you fuckers pushing me into it.
But it didn't seem like he wanted to really answer anything anyway, so.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to pan out, guys.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like. I know Bruno's going to be mad. He's not here right now to hear this, so the chat is safe for this moment.
From his wrath?
Yeah, from his
he
anger.
Just randomly starts like throwing the bam hammer everywhere. He's a solid goy, Surfing the Kali Yoga says. I'm sure he was very nice and respectful to me. He really was. I was sad that like he, didn't want to come on the show, but I don't know. Maybe it'll work out. I don't know. Hey Blaze, what's going on? Anyways.
So since we were talking about Africa, you got a story about the farmers.
Oh, I've got more. Yeah, I've got more about Africa. I streamed my notes together. What?
Don't say it like that.
Why?
Oh yeah, I got more about Africa. Yeah.
Why?
It's just like you're pinpointing them and.
Oh,
never mind. It was a joke that you're making it go way too long.
Let's string it out.
Yeah, let's string this out even longer.
Putting the spotlight on you. Ew. Okay, Serving the Kali Yoga, that's a bit much. You're praising him a bit much. I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. Did I make you feel weird? I didn't mean to make you feel weird. In other news, in other Jew news, Bill Maher says that Kushner is too stupid to be a Jew. He says he can say this because his mom is a Jew.
There's so many funny things in there. So we got a new segment apparently.
Another Jew news?
Jew news.
New Jew news. Jew news tonight.
New Jew news. That's a tongue twister.
Maybe it was because I spoke with David Duke, so I don't know. I have a lot of Jew news today, and it's strung in with this whole Africa thing. Watch how I string my news. It's quite talented, I think. Anyways, he goes on. Okay, so first of all, so here's a Jew, Bill Maher, and he's all like, ha ha ha, I recognize race realism because Jews are smart, and so he's too dumb to be a Jew. How come no one ever calls him out on that shit?
Call them out on
You
what?
know? The Jews, they're always... Are you okay? What are you doing over there?
My kid wants her coat zipped up all of a sudden.
Oh, okay. Moving on. Yeah, Jews recognize race realism when it has to do with them. Kind of hypocritical if you ask me. He goes on to say, I want to see his birth certificate, talking about Kushner. I do. I think it's going to say birthplace, Alaska. Real name, Jared Palin. I think that's the gayest joke I've ever fucking heard. Really, really. So, South Africa voted to seize land from white farmers without compensation.
Why don't you talk to the audience for a second?
Okay. What is a DeWay? I see that all the time. I don't understand it. DeWay. I guess I'll go back into the story. So, South Africa's parliament has passed a motion to seize land from white farmers without paying compensation. Passed by an overwhelming majority of 241 votes to 83 votes saying no. It was put forward by a... I'm going to wait for this part. You do not know DeWay. Tell me what that means, damn it. I saw Bill Maher defending pedophilia. I could believe it. Bill Maher's a fucking weirdo. Damn it. Pax, I'm going to put you on a timeout. Does he... I don't want to be the queen, Opie, so you can just shut up. I don't care. Thank you, Drunk for Battle. Heh. He already told me surfing the Kali Yoga. Ha 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 ha. I sit here on my throne. I could kick you all off. Every one of you. Oh, damn it. I don't want to read the news when Telcinix gets back because I want him to react to it. I'm not reading. You're reading. So anyways, what's going on in your lives, everyone?
Why always come back to you just being silent?
I said anyways.
All right, South Africa. Go.
Okay. So they're gonna kick. They want to. Part of the Bible were you studying? I studied all the Bible, Jose. All of it. So the parliament passed a motion to seize land from white farmers without paying compensation. It was passed by an overwhelming majority of 241 votes to 83 votes against. It was put forward by the radical left EFF party, whose leader, Julius Malema, told the country's parliament, we must ensure that we restore the dignity of our people without compensating the criminals who stole our land. South Africa's new president said he would speed up the transfer of land from white to black owners after his inauguration. In other news, South Africa's new president receives rabbi's blessing. That was supposed to be funny. I didn't do it right. Are you there, damn it? Yeah. But, legit happened.
What is that yours?
Jose, it was a Beth Moore study. All women in Christendom only ever study Beth Moore. It's kind of irritating. Instead of studying the Bible, they study Beth Moore. Beth Moore all the time. I guess it is funny, Pax, the way I was supposed to say it. It was supposed to be funny. I laughed really hard when I thought about it. Apparently not. Anyways, moving on. On to my other notes.
Okay, so what is... Because there's white people in the government there. What are they doing about that? Is there
Are
anything
there?
they can do about it?
Do you know that? Do you know the percentage of white people in the actual government?
I have no
I
idea.
know that a
But I
majority
know
of
they're.
them own.
I've seen them though, and I know there are white people there.
Seen them.
Yeah, they show
I've
the.
seen
I've
driving.
watched them actually sit there and talk and give their little speeches in their room.
Yeah.
I don't want to call it a Capitol, but I have no idea what it's called. But when they all get together, you see white people there.
Okay.
So
Um.
it's going to be surprising or interesting to see if there's any countries that do anything about this. Does the UN say anything when they take their land? Can they wait 20 minutes and buy it back?
What? No, I think like the law is to keep a majority owned by blacks.
Okay, so they take the land for, and I love how they always put, we will take it back for our people, we will have it. No, you all don't get this piece of land. Somebody gets this piece of land. Who gets that land, and what are they going to do with that land? Is it going to be like the other countries that kick the white farmers out?
Apparently
They don't know how to farm, so they beg the white people to come back. Yeah, they start starving, and we got to give them even more money.
Well, the president, I guess this president is, oh my God, I'm stuck in my jacket. It's too hot. Ah! Anyways, this president's a bit smarter than the other one because he's saying that he's going to aggressively seek to redistribute the land, but he doesn't want the same thing to happen there that happened in Zimbabwe.
Zimbabwe, that's where it was. Yeah.
So he's a smart fucker, unfortunately. A little smart, I guess. Probably have to. Yeah. So hold on a minute because I had to turn my light back on.
No, I haven't really heard anybody actually that looked into this and like, okay, so they take the farmer's land. Do the farmers just move into town? Do they get jobs at McDonald's? Are they allowed to keep some land? Are they allowed to buy some land?
I'm not sure, but the land that that's being taken from them is going to be taken without compensation. Yeah, so you're going to have a lot of people that are destitute. It's disgusting.
Well, so just sell their land now.
Well, and here's the thing too.
Find a black guy, say, hey, come here, and we can. I'll sell you this land, and as long as you don't screw me over, I'll make sure your family and everything's okay. You screw me over, though.
They don't want to give up. They're prideful. A lot of them, I think, have a lot of pride in their land. Yeah. And they don't want to give it up. I mean, their families have owned it for generations.
I've heard interviews where they say we don't want to, even if they had the opportunity, we don't want to leave. This is our land. Oh man, you might want to look at the situation again.
Yeah, especially if you have kids, you are outnumbered.
Yeah, I understand.
And not only that, but how sad is it that the majority of the world doesn't give one fuck because they're white? So literally a genocide can happen and everyone's gonna be like, well, that takes care of that. Never should have been in Africa, they'll say.
You just don't really hear much about it on the news, or does Trump even tweet about it?
I don't know. Probably not. But, however, more than 12,000 people have signed a petition asking Trump to let white people in South Africa immigrate to the U.S. amid that vote by the country's parliament. And this actually reminded me of an article that was written in September about how a white South African family refugees' bid was rejected, and they were accused of bolstering their case with racist propaganda. And by racist propaganda, they mean they cited the white hatred in their country, the legitimate, hatred for the Boers that is there. That's caused this vote to happen. Well, Canada said that's white nationalist talking point. That's propaganda, and we reject your bid. So they had to go back to their South Africa.
Yeah, Canada. I don't know what the fuck is wrong with those people up there. I mean, even the Canadians that I talk to online, they can't stand Trudeau. And why does he keep on going to other countries and dressing like them?
I know, that's the weirdest thing ever.
Making his kids dress like him. I mean, God damn it, Dad. I'm tired of this. I mean, is he just one of those people that's I can bring the world together? Like, I am so great that it will work if people listen to me. Does he have that kind of mindset? Is he insane? Or is he just, hey, I'm going to get votes this way?
I think he's high on his liberal, I'm better than morally superior attitude.
And that's what got him in the first place.
I don't know what got him in.
Yeah, I don't know either. I don't know. Nobody pays
Did you hear
attention
the
to Canada.
conspiracy? Did you hear the conspiracy that he's related to Cuba's, who's that guy in Cuba?
Fidel Castro.
Yeah, and he actually kind of looks a lot like him.
Well, we're all one person, Jessica.
Oh, okay.
We all
Sure.
come from Africa. We all come from the motherland, so we all come from one person.
No, apparently we all came from Europe, but the first Europeans were black.
Yeah,
That's the news story.
Yeah. Did you see Andy Worski's Egyptian debate with? I don't remember. The chick I don't remember, and the guy. Well, I don't remember the guy's name. Radio One. Yeah, Radio One was the black guy. He's a racist idiot.
Oh, I thought the chick was Radio One.
No, she's something else. But the whole conversation was supposed to be about what's the mummy that they decided was white, Nefertiti.
Mm-hmm.
And for some reason, it turned into like an hour and a half Egyptian lesson.
And her just going, okay. After he go, okay. I hated that. That really got old fast.
That went fucking nowhere for the longest time. And Andy Worski and JF sat there every chance they got and would go, "This is so interesting. I am learning so much. This is amazing. You two are doing great."
Wow.
I hate that this is what it's turned to. Blood sports is just stupid.
Mm-hmm.
Andy Worski's channel has turned stupid. Okay, never mind. I'm about to go off. So
we had to hey, fuck you. I haven't seen you in a long time. We had to bring up Andy somehow. It's kind of the thing we do, isn't it? Are you ready for the...
Well, the second channel, I think I'm going to go after Andy and them a little more, and leave the crazy SJW people. Well, I'll still do videos on them.
Just him?
No.
You should turn the channel into just like this crazy channel where it's like Andy news all the time.
Can I do that? Just go after their little group.
I guess,
every video
but do it like
get
very
their attention.
like really petty and like.
I just want your attention. I just wanted to see if I could do it. I bet I can't. Because Taka will bring on people for that blood sport. Sunday, it was like 9 hours long. He literally brought on, and I'm not being like an asshole here. I think these people really were autistic or like retarded with absolutely no arguments. But for some reason, they made this big deal on having an 8-hour goddamn show over Metacore, mainly just ripping everybody a new asshole. And Metacore is the only one I like out of all that group.
Yeah. I like JF. JF's pretty smart.
There's something about him I just don't like. He's
I just
too
like
perverted, or maybe he's just French.
He's French.
It's just, yeah, he could just be French. Maybe that's why.
And the French people were like, "No, we're not really like that. we don't like this guy either."
Well, during the live stream, they brought up a picture of Nefertiti like on a wall, and he sat there with the cursor like going over her boobs and her pussy over and over again.
Ew, really?
Yeah, I was going to say that.
Okay, doing that a little bit to the boobs, I get, but that other thing, that's too far.
Well, when he first did it, I was like,
it's childish, but yeah.
Childish, funny. And then he was
when
like,
you go there, it's
3 or 4 minutes later, he's still doing it. I'm like, dude, okay, either you're completely bored with this conversation like everybody else is, or you have some you got some sexual problems.
Well, he's really oh shit, a helicopter outside. That's weird for this area. Anyways, he's really, really smart, and so I think sometimes, that comes with the territory of being really smart.
Yeah.
You got something else that like balances you out socially.
Yeah, smart. Every smart person I've met is weird.
Yeah.
And they're usually not very good in social atmosphere, but JF seems to be fine with that.
Except for occasionally when he does
just a sexual problem.
Yeah. Yeah, guy was going to marry this autistic girl that couldn't speak, and they were afraid that she couldn't give agency to Walt be there. Didn't say it, but she could. He just like was going to let it sit there. Like all of us weren't wondering, wait, how autistic was she? Why don't you expound on that? He never did. Damn it, he never did.
That's the only time I was like, Andy, okay, I'll give you a pass with that one.
Best. Yeah.
How autistic is she?
He never answered it either. Damn it. So
well, and the problem when that story's out there, which I thought, I don't know anything about it, but when that story's out there and then you see how perverted he is constantly, you start thinking, would he take advantage of somebody if he was able to?
Well, especially if the courts actually did deem her unable.
Yeah,
I mean,
okay,
no, I would give him a pass if he could explain like how to know she was totally like.
Well, you get a good
in certain areas, and
you get a good enough therapist for your side. You can just convince the judge. That's all you're doing. Your therapist needs to be more convincing than the other therapist. I don't know how much money JF has, but I doubt if he got. Well, I don't know how much her parents had either. So.
Well, are you ready for the next piece of news?
Yep.
19-year-old who held dual citizenship in Israel and the U.S. is being indicted for making hoax hate crime threats. Threats against Jewish community centers, threatening the Israeli embassy, and cyber stalking. He is in custody awaiting trial in Israel for making thousands of threats, including to airports, schools, and Jewish centers in the U.S.
Yeah. That don't surprise me.
U.S. authorities have said in court documents that the suspect advertised his services on Alpha Bay, a now closed online black market, and offered to threaten any school for $30.
30 bucks.
$30. Now here's what's really crazy. Israeli authorities have accused him of earning about $240,000 worth of Bitcoin. I'm assuming that's like regular money.
$230,000 worth of Bitcoin money.
Yeah.
Oh, geez, it's lucrative.
Now, the suspect's parents have said he has a brain tumor that cause autism and other mental problems, making him unable to understand the nature of his actions. He didn't do. He's a didn't.
Well, and that is a possible. That's a possibility. No, there are people. No, there are people out there like that. Well, I'm not suggesting this guy is that person.
He made money. He made a lot of money.
Yeah, the idea, if you're that way, it's going to be very noticeable.
I don't think you'll have the agency to make all that money.
Yeah, hey, he has to come up with some defense. I mean, that's all it is. We got to come up with something, guys. Let's go with this. Okay. Hopefully it won't work, but I remember when I was in junior high school, we had a fire. It was pretty rare. I only had like 2 fire alarms the whole time I was there. And one of them, turns out they tracked where the call came in. It was a bomb threat, not a fire alarm, a bomb threat. And they tracked it down to the phones in the lobby. So they went back to the cameras and they saw the student who was fucking. If you're going to call in a bomb threat, don't do it from the school, you dumbass. But that was way back in the early 90s. It wasn't like it is today. So I doubt if they even prosecuted him or anything.
Yeah, it was probably like, oh, look at that monkey shine. So
I don't even know what that means.
Monkey shine?
Yeah, what is that? What is that supposed to mean?
I'm pretty sure he was a white guy. Oh, it's no, I don't. Just because I said monkey, that wasn't being racist.
Oh,
jeez. A monkey shine, from my understanding, is like a cute crime, like like it doesn't really matter. It's just a little monkey shine.
Monkey shine, okay.
Yeah.
Snow chip shine. He's a white guy. Snow chip. I like that snow chip. I'm going to use that from now on.
Well, our last story, I had to bring something up about California, because why not? It to be the other thing that we riff on a lot. California has worst quality of life in U.S., study says, citing that the rent's too damn high, low social engagement such as voting participation and community bonds, homelessness has surged to a stunning 75% in the last 6 years, and North Dakota got the best quality. Boom! I finished my notes.
Good
That's
job.
it. Yay.
Yeah, California's a shithole.
Hey, Rufio. I got a video coming out soon. I promise. Anyways, I uploaded a shout out to this live stream.
Oh, did you?
I did. And I showed my face. Now I'm going to private it.
Ooh,
Now that it's over.
living on the edge.
That's right. Are we opening up the Thank you, Jose. He got my rents too damn high. You know, I wrote that joke down, and when I went to say it right now, I was like, no, it won't go over well. So I didn't say it in the voice I wanted to. But anyways, I got a laugh out of Jose, so I'm happy. Are we opening the floor?
I can.
Do you want to?
Oh yeah, no, I will. I don't want to stay on all night. I don't even know if it works in the hang. I'm gonna throw it in the hangout. See if somebody wants to jump in. So I got 6 subs already on my 3rd channel. On my way to 1,000.
What? You got 6 subs tonight? Awesome.
Yeah. I was going to make another channel, and when I went to do it with a new email address, it wouldn't let me have a banner or a URL because I guess the rules changed. But luckily, I had an old channel that I just never used. I created it a long time ago, just never really used it. So I just turned that into my new one. But they have the rules with I need 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of watch time within a year. Is it a year or 6 months?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, well, thanks for helping.
You don't have to be a dick. Jeez.
That was a slow reaction.
I was closing my door and it was on pause. You know how many times I've had the mic on mute and I wanted to laugh at something really funny someone said? And so I go to like unmute and like I want to like be like ha ha ha, but then it's too late.
Too late.
Too
late. I just look weird if I started laughing now.
No, but I did that during the when we were talking to the advice show manager. There was some shit he was saying. It's like, no, someone has to be laughing at what he's saying right now. So I just did. I just went on, muted it, and laughed. And I sound retarded.
I follow him on Twitter still.
And, I follow his channel.
But nobody ever retweets him or likes his stuff or anything. I felt bad. I was going to like one of his things. Retweet it just to poke at him.
We should get him back on the show. That was fun.
Why?
I don't know. Like, I feel like we could find some kind of like topic that would be funny to encircle him about.
He wants to talk about like China's taking over the world and.
Oh, I guess the link is broken.
Oh, okay. So if you want on, you gotta shoot me your email or tell me who wants on. Pax, I think I got yours still. He always wants on. Sargon wants on? No, fuck him.
No,
got me fucking got me a flag.
You know, I find it really funny. then he got banned, and I think so Andy got like a flag for that one stream he did, and I bet you anything it has to do with what Sargon said instead of what Andrew Anglin. Because Andrew Anglin was minding his P's and Q's, but Sargon was the one that was like dropping the N-word and like talking about how he respects those that want to kill innocent people and shit. And he kind of lost his shit there for a while. And I heard that like on his channel he started calling everyone N-words. And that's probably why he got like showed. I find that really funny. Apparently you don't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was trying to deal with drunk. Andy got a strike for what?
Nothing.
I'm sorry.
That's okay. Jose, I don't believe in UFOs.
What? There's
I don't.
Of course, UFOs are real.
I think they're demons pretending to be UFOs.
No.
Yep.
Have you ever looked up and saw something that you just didn't know what it was?
There was one time when I was a kid, me and my friends were like, "Oh shit, there's a light in the sky. It's a saucer." And then like we went around the corner, we found out it was just like a light post.
Wow.
Yeah.
What kind of drugs were you on?
It was scary though at first. It was like, oh shit.
So, well, for a moment though, it was a UFO.
No, it was a demon pretending to be a UFO.
No, it was an
I've seen some shit. I'll
unidentified
tell you what.
flying object.
I've seen some shit in my
UFOs
life,
doesn't mean alien.
and I count it all to demons trying to persuade me away from my Bible. Who's laughing?
Facts.
You gotta get right with your Jesus.
That's right. Taking away your Southern card, Pax.
Hey, I love guns.
You ain't no Southerner. What are you doing? Fix your mic. Oh.
I'm never 5 feet away from a shotgun, madam. I think I'm Southern enough.
No, that's not the whole deal. You have to love Jesus and you have to love America.
I love America.
You don't love America. No, you don't.
I love America.
You love socialism. You want to bring down America.
No, I love national socialism.
I'm going to rally the forces and force you out of the South.
Aren't you from
Shut up.
Aren't you from a very liberal state?
My heart is from the South. This is where my family's from, and that's where I live now.
Oh.
Or do I? I don't know. I could live in the North. I don't know.
I'm just saying. The South is very tribal.
It is.
Yes, you do have to live and die in Dixie. Drunk for Battle said that. I love Confederate battle music or battle hymns. The old music from the from Civil War. It's glorious.
Nebraska? What about Nebraska? That's not the South.
So, Jessica, you want to have the guy from the manager from the Advice Show back on? He wants to build those bridges.
That's enough, Pax. Did you notice what avatar I chose to use? The name?
No. Oh,
no one mentioned it. I was like, oh damn it! I thought it would be funny.
I was late. I noticed it when I came on. I thought you changed the name of the stream. That's funny.
Yes. Well, you don't have a wrench around here.
So. I accidentally.
Mine's your P's and Q's, you son of a bitch. You got my wrench taken away.
I gave you my wrench for like a day to make up for accidentally banning you.
Reluctantly. So pissed. No. I like all I want to do now is find a way to get that wrench back. Somehow I will find a way.
It was an accident, and I was the one who come up with the idea of giving you the wrench.
I think I was the one that said that was only fair.
I don't know. English.
Yeah, it was me. Cynics?
Yeah.
Where are you?
And how could you say aliens are demons in disguise with an alien on stream? That's so racist. In the most literal of senses.
I mean, I don't really believe that the Cynics is an alien.
Well, let me ask you this. Is it more racist if I hate a black person, or is it more racist if I hate an extraterrestrial?
It's not racist at all because they're not a race. They would be a different species.
Who's that? Come out the gate with all that anger? Who's that? Who's speaking?
Christopher.
Oh, Christopher Birch?
Yeah, I just been busy.
Hey, Christopher.
We can barely hear you.
So wait. What would it be if not racism?
Speciesism?
I think we could just say racism. Keeps things simple.
Philemism? I don't know. You could just call it being a dick.
What if they're aliens that want to come here for our oil? Everyone only knows
Our
America
water.
can have oil.
No, they'd come here for our water and our oxygen.
Well, see, I'm from the South, so you know, oil.
Your mind's just on oil constantly.
Yeah. I heard Canada. I heard Canada.
You know what? I vision you like the that Southern guy from The Simpsons that's always shooting in the air, going ha ha ha, with like that weird like step dance he does.
My dad is from Texas, and I do have family up there that owns a massive ranch, and I do know how to ride horses, and I do shoot pistols, and I can square dance. So that's not too far.
You can.
I can.
Wow.
Where the fuck is you square dancing at?
Don't you worry about my square dancing.
No, I think the kids around here, they all go to this this huge like bar, and that's what they do. They drink and they square dance, and they wear hats. Everyone wears boots, and all the dudes have beards. It's crazy. It's a whole different world out here.
I have a beard.
And you don't sound like you have a beard. You don't sound like you were that confident when you said that right now.
She does have a point there. You really had no confidence in that.
I have a beard and long Jesus hair, so.
Long Jesus hair?
What the fuck?
That's not at all what I envisioned. I literally envisioned the avatar he has. Clean shaven. I'm like.
Yeah, people always say that, but I'm like, it's really masculine to have a beard.
Yeah.
So I don't get
dudes
why
should have beards.
I don't get why like the ideal man of Nazi Germany was always clean shaven with short hair. I'm like men are supposed to look rugged.
Yeah.
And manly.
God put hair on men's faces to distinguish them from women.
No, we got hair because of bugs.
Bugs?
No, we don't got no hair because of bugs.
Yeah, if you look where like it's hotter, like was it Morocco and stuff? They're really hairy people because they always had mites.
Well,
so the
Africa?
hair was the key.
Africans don't have beards, really.
Yeah, they do.
Well, they can. They don't grow body hair though.
Well, Jessica, that's because not even.
Does their hair fro out like round?
They don't. Yeah, they don't have
really?
like mites and stuff. Though they don't have the problem like that in Africa. They have bugs, but not. They have like beetles.
Yeah, but also like the Duck Dynasty folk are always talking about how like if you have a beard, then when you go out hunting and stuff, like your face stays warmer.
Oh yeah, there's a lot of reasons.
You know?
For it.
Yeah, that's pretty much the main reason is it keeps your face warm where it would freeze up around your nose and your mouth where all the
well the most important thing. The most important thing is when you eat a meal, some of it will get trapped in your beard. So later, you're able to eat and survive.
Absolutely amazing. Your family can eat upon your beard too. It's like, oh, cheeseburger.
Yes.
Well, that's just weird.
I know. I'm sorry. I realized when I said it. It's like, no, that's weird.
Suckle the nutrients from Papa's beard.
Yeah, men should have beards. And I think that like just shows in nature about how men and women are different, you know.
I'm just saying bearded fascism now.
Yeah, you don't see that anywhere. In the alt-right.
Not really.
No,
I mean, there's one main reason not to keep a beard, and that's just it makes you look sloppy if you don't keep it up, and it attracts bugs, lice.
Well, one military reason that the military doesn't allow you to have beards is so that you can wear gas masks.
That makes sense. Apparently, a customer of mine actually told me this.
Their whole fucking body.
Christopher Birch, I'm talking. Damn it. What were you saying?
Oh, so Christopher's the guy you were talking about that was interrupting.
Yes, it is Christopher Birch.
I was trying to figure out. Now I know. Okay.
Anyways, yeah, the Navy actually outlawed. Like the men used to be able to grow beards in the Navy, but now like they don't allow it now.
Well,
I find that horribly unjust.
I've wore gas masks with a beard before, and it is not fun. It is not fun, so I just shave mine if I'm gonna have to wear a gas mask. It's worth it.
Come into that situation a lot.
It leaks.
Yeah, why are you running into this situation that you need gas masks all the time? Did your
That's
girlfriend
strange.
eat the wrong items?
Oh.
Just gonna.
Huh.
What?
That's a weird reaction.
Uh-oh.
Do you know that they made a blanket that was special for people that fart a lot? So like trap the fart.
I was gonna mess around and just leave really quickly, but I thought that'd be too suspicious.
Bit, a little bit. You know, you could make a I don't know if it's a gas mask, but a mask in case of like biological warfare out of coffee filters and charcoal.
I want to ask Cynic something. Like, was he talking about like a blanket Dutch oven?
There was a blanket, and like in between it had like it was a.
You get you a set of rubber sheets and
Hold
you'll
up.
be set with that bitch.
wait. So what you're telling me is it's a fart filter for a blanket?
Yes. Well, and they started to put it in like underwear too. It turned into more of a gag. It started as like a real gift, a real thing, and it turned out to be more of a gag gift. They had infomercials for it.
That's hilarious. That's funnier in more ways than one. Oh, I just realized, by the way, during the stream, I'm Creepy Frank. I sell guns, and I always talk about the end times.
The great
Now, when you
ways
say
were to come.
you sell guns, like you go to the hood and open up your trunk, or
Hey
you have a
guys,
shop.
That's a good way to get robbed.
Hey,
Over the
guys.
hood.
No, he just rolls into the hood and he's like,
What up,
black on
niggers?
black-
Wow.
black on black crime statistics keep working out this way. Well, I don't even have to pull the trigger.
I will pay you $10 if you roll up in the hood and go and say that.
I have before. I used to live in the hood. Black people around my house love me. I don't know why. I'm like, I hate you all. They're like, oh, it's all right, crazy cracker.
Aw.
They think you're the mental patient.
No, like
They love his honesty, probably.
No, like the black people around.
Joking.
The black people around where I live in the city I live in, we self-segregate a lot, and they're not really bad people. It's only my generation, and the people that come into town that are shit. So, like the few black neighbors I managed to have over the years, like their sons will have their friends come in the neighborhood blaring music, and I watched my neighbor actually cuss out his son's friend for coming in at 12 o'clock at night blaring fucking what he called nigga Djibouti music. So,
Well, we've lost almost half of our watchers since you guys got on. We need to talk about some interesting stuff. What do you guys think of South Africa?
I think that it needs to go the way of Zimbabwe and have all them starve.
I think you need to donate money to the funds that are helping the white people there.
I think we should arm the Boer. Like, in all seriousness, I think we should find a way to do something to get weapons to the Afrikaners or the Boers, whichever you choose to call them, which are the whites there.
They are looking for somewhere to go. Like, I think there's something going on with the UN with them. Like,
Well, the UN turned their back when it happened to the whites in Zimbabwe, which I don't really like using the Z word. I call it Rhodesia, but most people look at me like I'm retarded when I say that. So they turned a blind eye when it happened in Rhodesia. They're going to turn a blind eye now. And Cynics, that's what actually my white genocide video was on this subject. They're basically gutting people and hanging them like deer, and the UN, no one's doing anything about it because they're white.
Well, no, the UN doesn't. Hold on, the UN does not interfere in stuff like that. They literally sit there and just watch.
Wow.
It's not because they're white.
Will watch.
Yeah, they've had many genocides around where the UN literally just, you see the tanks just sitting there watching.
Then what the fuck are they paid for?
To keep the peace.
To watch.
I don't know. That's a good. I mean, we do need a place where everybody, all the leaders, can get together and be able to talk.
Creepy Frank.
There's been a lot of injustices from the UN, though.
Oh yeah,
the people in there, in those like really bad ones to the
well, when your human right leader in the UN is like Saudi Arabia or Iran, that doesn't make much sense.
Well, I'm just saying, this is why the church used to burn people. This liberal shit that's happening today and all over the world. This is why the church used to burn people.
Have you ever heard the theory that that the whole witch thing and like the drawings of witches actually came from Jews? Not that they perpetuated it, but that our ancestors, that they were Jews, that like mainly the women that were witches were Jewish women, and that's why their nose was like or like that. And I heard this once, like it was like a legitimate theory, and they actually had a lot of stuff to back it up.
Well, I guess it's ingrained in our DNA to just burn Jews.
I wouldn't say that. But you get a lot of in the Jewish community, ones that aren't Jewish. They're either Jewish or they're atheist, or a lot of them are not pagans, but like they believe in the Cabal. Fuck, what's that thing that Madonna's into? Kabbalah. That yes, I heard you.
It's just like some kind of weird
Kabbalah.
shit.
Yeah, magic and numbers and things like that. And so I don't know. Kind of interesting.
Crusader sword intensifies.
Jews and magic numbers, jeez. Anyway.
Well, the theory that Jews have been eating people and like babies and stuff goes back really far.
That's in the Bible, isn't it?
This is really crazy.
It wasn't really the Jews, but like neighboring nations that did that were taken care of. But they were influenced.
Hold on. I thought the Jews were like caught up in the mountains and their enemies were underneath waiting to kill them, and they were sitting up there for so long that they were hungry, so they ate their children.
If that's in any writings, it's not the Bible. That would be in the other writings that the Jews have, because the Jews have other writings outside of what we call the Bible, like the Talmud and
the current Jewish holy text is the Talmud, and that's what it would be in,
and extra rabbi teachings and writings.
Yeah,
because I think the story that you're talking about is, the one with the lighting thing. They light those 12, the menorah.
Yeah. Well, they were trapped underneath something when that happened.
And during that time, actually, it was like after all of the Old Testament had been written, but before the New Testament was written. There's a long period of time where God didn't talk, and it was prophesied as to why.
Well, that's
he wasn't
convenient.
going to tell his. Well, no, because it was prophesied to the actual fucking day that when Jesus would come back, he wasn't going to talk again until Jesus came down.
It was prophesied to the day.
I'm just saying, with the way Christians...
It was prophesied to the exact day and the hour, Kevin.
I'm just saying, with the way Christians sit there and say, the end of times is coming. I mean, it's kind of like it's kind of like an open-ended, prophecy.
No, I've been hearing that from my mom since I was a little kid.
The end of times is coming. That's why the Pope...
There's a storm outside. It's the end of times.
Like...
The cable's
mother,
out.
You understand?
The 4 horsemen are on their way.
Mom, don't pay the bill. Like, mother, you understand there's more to the world than outside of California, right? Like, what we're experiencing here in California, they're not over there. No, it's the end of times.
I mean,
the first Bible... This is going to be the theme. I'm going to interrupt you all stream Christopher Birch. Sorry, go ahead. What? Christopher Birch, hello.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought you said you were going to kick me off if I continued talking.
No, I said the theme is I'm going to interrupt you this time because that was the second time I started to interrupt you. I felt bad. Continue.
Oh, I don't know. Have you seen how much the Pope loves Islam?
Can you get your face closer to the microphone?
Yeah. How's that?
A little better.
Anyway, the Pope really loves Islam. This new fucking Pope, he really loves the fucking Islam. And considering, like, a lot of Hispanics are fucking Catholics, it's a little scary.
I'm just saying, the only thing is it's a fake Pope.
Well, isn't he the Pope that wants everybody to get along? He's like the cool guy.
Hey, isn't this the fucking made-up book that we're talking about?
I mean, you can believe that if you want. Others have a right to believe other things.
Okay, what about the shit that's not in your Bible that some Pope decided would be in there?
Well, I'm not Catholic, so the Pope can go suck it. Never mind, I'm not going to say that.
What's your Bible say on it? Say King James?
My Bible is says Winchester on it.
You don't have the King James?
I
You
have
don't have the King
Winchester.
James. Wow.
I have Winchester. I read the
Not.
book.
You're not even a Baptist, are you?
I read the book of
Not
Winchester.
a fucking Southerner.
I read the book of Winchester, and
I just got that. I'm stupid.
Right now, I'm in the book. I'm in the Psalm of Smith and Wesson.
You just got that? He said it like
I
9
just got
times.
that. No, I was thinking that it was a different version of the Bible.
There's a
It
whole
took
bunch
me
of
a
different
minute.
versions.
the thing about it is, man.
It's a pretty common one.
The thing is, my personal beliefs is
What was Christopher Birch asking? I'm a Christian. What's going on? Can someone surmise it?
There's a lot of books that aren't in the Bible. They call them the Apocrypha. Like, the Catholics are the ones that set down the original Bible.
No, when you say the Catholics, you have to understand that back in the day, there wasn't really you weren't allowed to be
No, there was
the Catholic Church was a lot wider.
The Council
and
of Worms.
I know, and
And
Santa was there. Did
No,
you know that?
No,
He was there.
In all seriousness, the Catholic Church was built around keeping and maintaining power around a few people.
Well, not just that, but there's a lot of connections to the Catholic Church in old pagan ways. There's this book called what was it? I think it's like The Great Babylon, where it actually shows past pagan religions and the shit that they do and the practices that the Catholic Church still does today.
Yeah,
the robes they wear and stuff. I'm not Catholic, but nonetheless, here's the thing. Okay, here's the amazing thing, Christopher Birch. The Catholic Church has preserved the Bible completely, even though it contradicts its own doctrine.
No,
if there's nothing else that shows me... Oh, yes, they have.
There's several books that they've taken out.
They didn't take
No,
them out.
a bunch
There
of...
never was a Bible.
Whoa,
the Bible
what's
didn't
going
exist.
on?
They were all just separate books. And you had actual churches which had their own freaking book. Like, they had their own version of the Bible.
Okay, Christopher, but you
Then,
do understand by archaeology and shit that we're able to dig up. We're able to dig up ancient scrolls and see, here's this one, and writings about it.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. They call them the Apocrypha, and there are more than that. There are more than just the Dead Sea Scrolls.
The reason they all got together, and the reason why they didn't take out, the reason why when they decided to put it all together, they were deciding on which ones were canon or whatever, and which ones weren't, is because, for instance, like the Gospel according to Mary, they could tell by the style of writing it was done in, it wasn't done in the time of Jesus. For instance, maybe they referenced a vessel that wasn't even created yet.
A lot of problems with religions like the Cathars.
Maybe.
I can't hear you.
Maybe they took it out.
There was a big problem in France with this group of Christians called the Cathars, and they were giving the church a really fucking hard time. This is one of the reasons. It led to the canonization, and the actual reasons, like you have witch burnings and shit like that, becoming like a huge thing, and you see the Inquisition sweep out.
Okay, what's your point though about all this? What point are you trying to drive to?
It's a fucking made up book. Some dude.
It's not a made up book, and just because you haven't proved that it's a made up book by stating that. Oh, the Crusades happened, therefore the Bible isn't real. How does that make any fucking sense?
Let me ask a question. What do you believe in?
I believe in what I can touch and what I can see, what I can feel.
Okay.
I believe in science.
So I was waiting for that actually, sir. Have you ever reached out and molested a black hole? Have you ever touched a star?
No.
No, you haven't. You haven't.
I can fucking see them.
Ah, right. But you look for things to explain what that star is, correct?
Yeah, of course.
You do understand that most religion come about a time when scientific knowledge was at its lowest.
Okay.
It was meant to explain nature around people. Just because a bunch of dumbasses and assholes made up something to take control and power and give meaning to something,
they did.
Doesn't mean you have a right to tell someone what they can and cannot believe in.
I was always going along with it. And then it was what?
Yeah, I wasn't sure what side he's fighting for at this point.
Still sounded good though.
I think they're both. I think both sides are equally fucking retarded.
when you
I think you're
decide
fucking retarded.
to make
Half-
me try to think like you, that's when you have the problem.
Half the
Well, Christopher
people,
Birch, you have not proven that the Bible was made up. So
Well,
I
hold on,
still
let me-
hold you to
let-
task for that.
Let me finish my point. Cynics, I'm on neither side. I think both sides are retarded. Half the people that claim they believe in science don't know what the fuck they're talking about when they talk about a scientific discussion.
Oh yeah, like they didn't
And-
even know how like electricity works or the TV works.
And the other half is so ingrained in this religious thought that if it was up to them, we'd still be in the Dark Ages. I think both are equally retarded.
I think you're retarded.
I mean,
You have that right to think that way,
I'm
Justin.
not gonna lie.
I
I'm
do.
not gonna lie. There is sometimes there's a longing for me to feel like there's some force out there that's directing shit. But honestly, I don't like to think that it has like eyes and a mouth, or it has its own thoughts or something. I'd rather it be like this impartial guiding force that just makes everything do what it's fucking supposed to.
Well, if there is a God, he is who he is despite who you think he is.
Bramey, you two could have this discussion again when either side has evidence one way or the other.
Oh, hey.
Well, I have evidence
so-
in my own life, and I understand I can't
the
convince
thing
other
is-
people because of that, but that's why I believe.
The thing is, I believe in God, but I know how a laptop works, so I actually really do legitimately care about science and scientific discovery.
I do as well, and that's why I believe
So-
in creation.
Well, the thing
I
is,
know how a laptop works too. You just open it up and push the button. It's not that fucking hard.
I know how it works on the inside.
I press boop and it goes on.
Yeah.
I'm
Turn the
talking-
little
No
key
one-
and the
no
engine
one
starts
can-
right up.
Cynics, but what happens if you touch the power button and it doesn't come on, and then
You
when
go to Jerry. Jerry will fix it.
No,
I'm
you
J-
take
what
a
I'm-
hammer and you hit it with the hammer a couple times.
That's a good point. You
That
do that first.
normally
what,
works.
what I'm saying is I'm Jerry.
You go to the library. You go
You're
to the
Frank,
library,
you're
right?
Jerry,
have
you got a
someone
bunch of
run-
personalities, man.
Jenkins.
From your computer.
What'd you say, Chris?
What you do is you go to the library, you get on Stormfront, and you write about how the Jews broke your computer.
That is
Always
not.
to choose.
That
And then
is
take you
not
to a
right.
Jew to fix it.
How many people are at a library watching Stormfront?
I used to do it for real.
Is that a thing?
Well, if,
I've seen it. Yeah, I've seen it in the library. That's like that was the first time I ever saw Stormfront. Is like it was
I would
on somebody's
imagine-
screen at the library.
I would imagine that people would be afraid of like the feds tracking you to your computer or something, so you'd go to the library.
Are you insinuating there's a bad time to read Stormfront?
Our library is used for our homeless people.
not a bad time, just bad settings.
I have so little give a fuck. I would read Stormfront in open view in front of an Antifa protest.
There are people that watch
Honestly-
porn in the library.
Like Stormfront is one of the reasons why I find like white nationalism so hilarious. Like some of the shit people say and write on there, like it blows my fucking mind. It's like holy
Stormfront's
crap.
garbage as far as I'm
Like, you-
concerned, but I
you
heard
got
it's supposed to be
my
mostly
race
jokes.
bad.
Like it's supposed to be humor.
I have never been on
It's
Stormfront once.
My role on charisma because of my race. Thanks, cocksucker.
Is
What?
my mic
And
working?
not because you're a
Yeah,
white
your mic's
nationalist,
working.
but because you're dumb.
What are you saying? We can't hear you.
Oh, fuck. I think I have to change headphones. I bought these headphones special for you motherfuckers.
Aw.
Apparently you can't hear me.
I've done that before. I spent like $30 on a fucking headset. And it's just all fucked up.
I'm just saying it was the Jews, man. It was the Jews.
I better go to the library and write about this.
Actually, you know, only Jews would go to the library because it's free.
Doop-a-doop-a-doop-boop.
Well, it's great if you were white and you pay taxes and you're broke too.
I couldn't even tell you the last time I was at a library.
Dude, libraries the shit. You can fucking rent movies.
Yeah, I used to rent movies from them all the time, but I am terrible about returning them. So I just have to say no.
It's really
There's a
weird
red
that the
box.
Because at first it
library would
starts
rank
as
the movies.
free and then you wind up like owing $20 and shit.
Like, what kind of
Something
movies
about
can you
the
rent from the
library.
library?
They
A
have all
lot.
kinds of movies. Yeah, they get new
New
rentals and stuff.
movies.
Like
Yeah.
depending on the size of your library and the funding, you can rent almost any type of movie.
And you can even get them to send stuff between the libraries.
A lot of libraries now actually have it to where you can rent books via like online, like through your tablet. I don't know how that works, but they do it.
They open it up their laptop and push a button.
Yeah, but it's almost like, I don't know, it's weird. Like you might as well own it then. It's, I don't know.
What if you ever piss Jerry off? Who will fix your laptop then?
Frank, Mike, John. There's a lot of them. There's
Many
more
different
computer
names, but the
people
same
than not
person.
computer. Plus, a laptop's only like $200, so I can just go buy a new one.
All I know about in life is my shotgun and my pecans.
Yeah, that's what I wind up doing when my computer winds up crashing, is I just wind up getting another one. I've
Yeah.
had like 3 that have crashed on me.
Well, to get them fixed, it costs almost the same. So,
Yeah.
like, fuck it.
I had one computer crash because, okay, apparently, like, it had an antivirus protection on it, and my dad uploaded another antivirus protection, and the two fought each other, and it crashed my computer.
There can be only one.
They duked it out, and it killed them all, damn it.
Yeah, they call it. Basically, what happens is they call each other virus all day because they're doing virus-like things.
Mm-hmm.
So they're like, "Oh, that looks like a virus."
Hmm.
And someone's like, "Hey, that
I'm
shit
not a-
looks like a virus."
I'm not
and
a
it's trying
virus.
to
You're
get
a
me.
virus. No,
It's
you're a
trying
virus.
to get me too.
Is there any truth to places like Microsoft actually releasing viruses so that they could sell antivirus software?
Why not?
I want to say they've actually admitted to something like that.
I know the guy McAfee said they were doing that.
Yeah.
McAfee,
Well,
that's a really
Matt-
smart dude, but he had some really crazy times in his life. So
I was gonna say,
you know he
he's
killed a
drug
guy.
addict. I was gonna say, but he was a drug addict, so
he made
but
his
you know,
own drug.
he killed a guy,
Yeah, he lived in the fucking
and he got away.
rainforest for months with some young chick making dope. Yeah, now he's back in America and he's cool.
He's a fucking dude. He's a fucking baller. Like I
want
love
to see.
him,
I want to see that guy's movie.
dude. Have you like he makes YouTube videos every once in a while too?
No, I want to see like a documentary blow type of movie.
Nah, but he makes really funny ass fucking YouTube videos. Every
He
once
did
in a
a-
while.
He did an interview with Joe Rogan while he was in the rainforest running and shit. It was pretty fucking interesting.
Oh man, I can't believe this. Fucking the $5 headphones. Back to the $5 fucking headphones. I bought those headphones special for you. They were so cool. They matched my phone case. I thought I was fucking styling with those motherfuckers on.
Christopher Birch. Someone said you went from muffled to borderline ear rape.
Oh, I got his volume way up. Let me change that.
Well, I was gonna say I could actually hear him now.
He did have a crazy echo. Hey, Christopher Birch, where are your ancestors from by any chance?
He's not
As
black
far as-
because he sounded
as far
black
as
right
I
now.
know-
That's why you're asking.
As far as I know, it's Polish, Dutch, French, German, and Scottish.
When you say Polish, do you mean Jew? That was
I
a
don't know.
crazy
I don't
echo.
think so.
That was a crazy echo you had there.
Oh, is he a Fed? No, what do they call?
Yeah.
What do the black people call the suspected Fed people?
I'm a narc,
What?
man.
Suspected
the
white supremacists?
No, the Black Power people. When you go on their
Fudge.
comment section, if somebody says something that's suspected, you know, like you're calling him out or something, and he's black, like, oh, he's a.
C word?
5-0.
Suspect. I don't know.
Oh, you guys suck.
I don't think you're the only one here that actually watches
Yeah.
pro-black videos. I don't
speak
watch
to-
that shit.
I don't speak to
I watch them too, but I just don't troll the comment sections. They get real crazy there. I don't know. I can't like the videos enough for me.
I'm running low on pecans. I gotta get another 10-gallon bucket.
Fuck your pecans.
Fuck you.
No.
Who says you
Fucking
have a
degenerate.
choice?
He's an agent. That's what it
Degenerate.
is. 10 minutes later. Yeah, pecan.
Agent? Oh, yeah,
pecan talk
agent.
is not really interesting.
Yeah.
Unless it's about
Um,
pecan pie.
Yeah, so anyway, like there are a lot of foundations and stuff that actually like distribute food and like help these people get visas in South Africa and stuff like that. I donate to 2 of them. You should donate to them.
Is that all they do? Is just try to get them food? They're not. there
One of
one for,
them is
like,
like
get 'em the
one
fuck
of them
out
I
of
know
there?
for sure is like care stuff, and the other one is like legal stuff.
Could we get them like some scuba gear just in case they need to swim out of there?
I mean, cause like the real thing is like it look, they're not Habib and they're not coming across into the Mediterranean, so you know it's a little bit harder for them.
Is there a way we could get them firearms and ammunition?
Yeah, I mean, if I was them, I'd be terrified.
They
I
are
don't understand.
terrified. Like I really feel bad for those people, like because like they are being like they are being genocided. That is an actual white genocide over there. Like it is a real white genocide. Like when people talk about white genocide, that is a real white genocide. That is fucking. It's scary and it's like the shit that goes on in Africa, just on its face, is fucking ridiculous every day. Like black, white, yellow, green doesn't fucking matter. That place is just a shithole of fucking misery.
Yeah, it'd just be best to leave it and
We
just
should
go in
nuke
there
it.
and pay them for their resources that you can
Just
use.
nuke it and send in the robots until
Why-
to
why-
take
why
out
should-
the
why should-
minerals
to
until
mine
they
the
become smart
land.
enough. Yeah,
Jeez.
until they become smart enough, and then we'll nuke them.
Why should we nuke it when we can just fuel air bomb it and fucking go in ourselves and recolonize?
And then start this whole thing over again?
No,
Well, we don't
because
need-
the blacks
I
will be
don't-
gone.
There's
It'd
not
be
enough
living
white
space.
people to take Europe and America. What?
I know. We
add
gotta
more
take
places
our
to
own
go.
lands back.
Just say
At least one of them.
fuel air bomb would eliminate the hostile.
Who told you that? Like,
do you
We're
know-
a minority in the world, but that's like considering that like it's not like 4 million Chinese are gonna move tomorrow to fucking Canada or something, or they're gonna fucking move to Britain or the United States. So like in the United States, at least, white people are a majority of the population. Like if we start having fucking kids, like we won't have any problems with demographic replacement without insane immigration. So if we can get rid of the fucking insane immigration and maybe have some fucking kids, then we'd be all right.
You know we take in 1 million people a year in immigration. That's fucking ridiculous.
Yeah, it is kind of fucking ridiculous.
And that's
the fucking
like I don't even know how many whites that is out of that 1 million. But
It's like not many.
we take in 1 million immigrants a year. That's legally, by the way.
Well, legally, I think like the criteria and the quotas, like I think per capita or some shit like that. I can't remember how they measure it, but like the percentage that they'll take from like a European country and the ease of getting into our country from a European country like to for residency is a little bit easier than like other countries, but still, like
There's not that
holy
many
fuck.
people that want to move
Like,
from Europe
I
to
don't even-
America.
Yeah, but I don't even care if you're fucking French, all right? I don't even give a fuck if you're French. You come over here, okay, this ain't fucking France, all right? Fucking assimilate.
Speak you some American.
Yeah.
We use the metro. We use the imperial system here, boy.
God dog it. But I mean, like I said before, like why I think the ethno state ain't feasible, and I get pissed at the ethno state. But hey, you know what I want to really talk about? Confederalism.
What the fuck is confederalism?
So you know what a confederacy is?
Yeah.
Okay, so like instead of a United States, just a Confederated States.
We had that with the Articles of Confederation, and it failed
Yeah.
miserably.
No, fuck that shit.
It failed miserably.
That way, if part of California, the craziest part, wants to leave, that's cool. Like, you know, they can be part of North Korea or whatever they want to do. You know, and we'll just ass rape them into the fucking next century when they decide to get sparky.
The thing about California leaving is it'll never happen. They're leeches. They'll bitch and moan and complain, and they know that eventually the federal government, because they'll keep popping out children and giving illegal aliens the right to vote and citizenship, because
California
they can.
is the fifth largest economy
That's
in the world.
Okay. They're still leeches. They're in debt up to their fucking eyeballs. They may be the fifth largest economy, but that doesn't matter when they can't turn a profit.
Yeah, how much are they throwing out?
Cash flow, man. It's cash flow. It's cash flow. You gotta keep the fucking money moving, even if you're positive, but you're not moving enough money. It doesn't matter.
The thing about California, dude, is
they have goods and services.
The thing about California is businesses are leaving in spades.
Yeah, because they're taxing the shit out of them. They're running that fucking state into the ground.
That's what I'm saying. They're communists. They're leeches. The mentality, they may have been gifted a fucking great place with lots of businesses and a booming economy, but eventually they'll ruin it. They're leeches. They'll still keep encouraging people to pop out children they can't afford. They'll keep giving illegal aliens the right to vote, and and that's how they're going to maintain it, because they can just push the government around.
Yeah, but they do that shit everywhere here.
Well, they know for a fact. I can tell you for a fact, California will never leave. If there's a state that's going to leave, my bet would be with Texas.
Texas ain't leaving.
Why? Why wouldn't they? The second if they go after tell that to a bunch of pissed off Texans when you tell them they can't own firearms. Or you try?
Oh yeah. Don't even get that shit fucked up, because like you'll have half the country in open revolt. Like that shit's. It's not just gonna go down like it did in Australia. It'll be the fucking Bundys, like in every second or third fucking intersection.
You gotta also remember, a lot of our military is made up by white Southerners, and that shit's not gonna go down with any Southerner except for maybe people from Alabama. Or not for people from Alabama, for people from Atlanta and Birmingham. Maybe Knoxville. But like even the blacks here love their fucking guns.
Montana actually has it in their constitution.
They love them so much they use them all the time.
Montana actually has a thing in their constitution saying if the federal government tries to take their guns away, that they succeed. It's not even up for vote. It's just an automatic thing.
You know, here in Kennesaw, Georgia, there's a town where every person in the town, like every family, every household, has to have at least one gun. And guess what? The fucking crime rate in that is one of the lowest in the countries.
I did hear about a town that would.
It's Kennesaw, Georgia.
Did they actually make it legal? Or make it a law that you had to?
Yeah, you can be fined if you do not have a firearm in the house. The only exemptions are felons and anyone legally not able to purchase a firearm legally.
Isn't Sweden kind of like that too?
That would be
Switzerland?
Yeah, Switzerland.
Sorry, that was dumb, not Sweden.
Switzerland actually encourages their people to own guns.
Guess what? They also don't have a rape epidemic.
Yeah, they also aren't importing a fucking bajillion migrants. Check it out. They have had a couple
aren't they
ISIS
keeping
events.
a lot of immigration out, including people that are not
Speaking
they've always been like that.
Swiss, that's what they called.
They're a very conservative country. If you want to see a very, very conservative country, it's the Swiss.
Speaking of conservatism and politics, did you hear that nationalists, I forget the actual name of the 5-star movement, actually won in Italy? They don't have a. They don't. They have
Yep.
a hung. They
Yeah,
have a hung.
they're talking they're talking a Brexit for Italy.
Yeah, it's Italixit or something.
Italy. Yeah, I don't know how to fucking pronounce that
Yeah.
shit.
Isn't it a
I
little
see
late
it.
for
You
them,
see it
though?
written down. What do you mean?
For Italy? Like,
fucking
aren't they, like,
dude,
absolutely
Berlusconi's coming back.
sworn?
Berlusconi is like their Mugabe. Like he can
Yeah,
do
but,
no
like,
wrong.
Like, I don't know. Like, isn't their country,
Like
like absolutely
he could
swarmed
fuck
by
3
migrants?
hookers in front of the
Yeah.
House of
So, like,
Parliament.
they have a hard work ahead of them.
Yeah, no, you don't
Out
understand.
of anyone in Europe,
Jessica,
I think, like, don't they have the
you
hardest?
don't understand. Almost every white person in Italy that's not in politics and not, funded by the EU is ready to start going out and murdering.
I bet, yeah.
Like that, one of the nationalist guys went out after they found out that they beat and cut up this white girl, and then they found out they ate her. This guy went out with a 12 gauge and started blasting started blasting Blackie back to Africa. He said, "Fuck that." He said, when they locked him up, he yelled "Viva la Italy," and fucking like half the country in this election, they went from having, I think, 5 to 20% to almost 55 to 60% of the vote. Like they've gone. I say fuck yeah, because they're all either nationalist or straight fascist, and I'm happy. I'm so happy.
What's
Italy,
up, Sean?
For Italy, I hope they can.
Italy and Greece
get
are
their
leading
country
the
back.
Western. Italy and Greece are leading the Western world again.
Yeah.
What's up, guys?
Hey, Sean.
How you guys doing?
You're at a middling.
How
are you doing?
I wanted to add to your guys' conversation. You guys know it's against law, federal law, for any state to succeed the United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is. But if
So
the,
what?
if the thing about law is you have to be able to enforce it.
Mm-hmm.
You can say there's a law, but if you can't enforce it,
I'm pretty sure the federal government can stop a town from seceding.
That's what I was thinking.
A town, sure, but an entire state or something like Texas or California.
Name
Yeah,
one
the federal
state-
government isn't
name
going to
one
go to
state
war
that works together. Name one state.
Yeah.
Within itself, I would say all of them.
None
Well,
of them.
isn't Texas like poised to be very self-sustaining? Like they have like, what is it they have? They have something. Like
Texas
their own
has, Texas has.
They
its
have
own
white people, and that's all they fucking need.
their own what?
Texas has its own electrical grid.
That's what it was. Yeah.
It's a state can have its own electrical grid. It just can't be connected to the federal grid.
Correct. That California is the same way.
I didn't know California was that way.
Yep. They actually sold their electric rights to some crazy company that wants to do like solar energy from space.
Damn. Well, did the federal government build their like infrastructure and shit?
No federal government builds a state's infrastructure.
Mm-mm.
Well, I know, especially in like certain areas, like the Tennessee River Valley and stuff like that. Those were like New Deal projects, like to electrify those areas.
Yeah, but the thing the federal government has just about always done is they've used private contractors for they've given the budget to the states, and the states have used private contractors. So technically, the states build them.
Exactly. Yeah, that's how it works. Yeah, just the idea of any state ceding from the United States is never going to happen. Never.
Never say never. Empires rise and fall. Stuff changes.
The idea that America will go on forever.
Could
as
you
it is now
imagine
is,
how
is,
fucking
I'm
bad it
talking
would be?
Christopher Birch. Damn it!
Looks like you should change that name to "How Dare You, Christopher."
I will next time.
No, you guys don't understand. I accidentally banned her, and she went and created a sock account, named it "How Dare You PAX" in less than 30 seconds.
And then I convinced the guy of the channel to give me Pax's wrench. I had Pax's wrench for a whole week.
I told you to give it back too.
I convinced you And then I convinced him.
Well, how come I got
Me.
my wrench back? Like, how come I got my wrench back?
I don't know. It's retarded, but I'm working on it. I'm going to get it back.
I'm still trying to get a wrench on Cynic's channel. Cynic.
Shanji should have a wrench.
I should. I'm special.
As long as you don't block people, because like literally he doesn't like allow that.
Oh, I
like you have
I
a
would
vain
never block
power.
Anybody. I love everybody in that chat. 100%.
Well, you're all right, aren't you, Shanji?
What? Oh yeah, of course.
Yeah.
I'm
surprised I don't see you around as much, like on the other channels.
How alt-right are you? Are you fascist or national socialist or capitalist?
Oh no, he's pretty far out there actually.
Yeah.
See, I don't know. Sometimes sometimes
he calls out the Jew way too much.
He doesn't even allow tanning beds in his fucking.
No, seriously, that's a legit thing. It's ridiculous.
No tanning.
I have
like
a
dyeing hair
for the white
blonde and
nationalists.
Sharking up.
I have a question for the white nationalists. So, fuck, shit, I forgot.
Oh damn it!
Marijuana.
With all that build up
for
and everything.
memory.
Yeah, I'm degenerate.
happens
I'm
when you
smoking
interrupt
fucking
people.
pot.
That's disgusting.
Damn it. Crappy radio, guys.
Oh yeah. This is the question I have for white nationalists. Okay, so like, are you really fascist? Because it seems like if you're fascist, you would be like, kind of like smacking shit down left and right. Like, you can't say that, you're degenerate. Fuck you. No, get out of here, faggots. Like, all this shit.
The thing about political systems is they are encouraged and maintained by the culture that adopts them, meaning they change for every culture that adopts them. America is all about freedom. You'll never take freedom from the American people.
Wait.
Even if you're fascist.
What? Define freedom? Because you don't have freedom.
Yeah.
America
I ain't got no freedoms.
America has the most freedoms in the world, except for the 100 million laws that we made that you can't do shit.
Well, I mean, okay, so there's more freedoms in the Philippines as far as like driving ability.
Okay, let me
like
ask you
children
this.
can drive, and you don't have to wear a seatbelt, and so that's the funny thing about freedoms. But I think everyone understands what Pax meant.
Would you
by freedoms?
No, people would rather argue semantics. But let me ask you this: would you rather live in America or would you rather live in Saudi Arabia?
I'd rather live in America than anywhere else.
Well, you're a woman, so
what?
I'll
take, today. Even if I were a dude,
America.
I'd rather live in America.
But why would you take America?
Well, because most people in Saudi Arabia are doing pretty shitty.
Yeah, unless you got like oil money,
Whoa,
you don't want to live in Saudi Arabia.
Even women in the highest ranks in Saudi Arabia are doing pretty damn good. It depends on who your family is. So it's about a hierarchy.
Most people in Saudi Arabia do all right as long as you aren't black and from like fucking Cameroon or some shit there to do some weird construction work and they turn you into a slave. That really happens.
Yeah, there's still slavery in Saudi. There's a video of a lady who jumps out of like a 5-story window trying to get away.
Damn.
I've seen videos of whole like containers of dudes like they're doing like construction work and like they lock them in these containers like overnight shit. It's fucked up. And like they come there on some work program.
Yeah,
they
find them on
Facebook. In America too.
Yeah, they come on a work program and they do this in other countries. They do it a lot to women, but like they do it a lot to like black and like the Arab people. They're so fucked up to the black people. It's honestly it's like they make white people look nice to black people.
But like the world doesn't see it. It's so funny.
White people are nice.
They'll never show it.
Well, I mean, it's just like like what is nice really? But like if you have a gradient to compare it on, you're like, well, I mean, obviously we're kind of better to you than them. Like, but
I'm just saying, when you mentioned the containers of blacks, that kind of sounded like a Milo Yiannopoulos wet dream.
That's weird.
That's very
I hate that faggot.
Damn it, Pax.
I just picture Milo going, "Ooh, a bunch of black men."
Wow,
Please don't ever make that sound again.
Yeah.
Please don't ever make
You
that
did
sound
that
again.
way too well.
That was like
Yeah, they're all like
Death
crusty
on
and
your belly.
dirty and like
Anyways,
depressed and sad
years
looking. They
ago-
look like sad little corner creatures.
Damn it!
Fucking that gets Milo. That's what gets Milo off.
You're all assholes.
I'm just saying you can't call them gay anymore. You got to call them fabulous American.
Again.
Yeah, but seriously, I mean, if you're fascist, like, shouldn't you hate homosexuals? I mean, like, that's so fucking degenerate, is it not?
Define.
Well,
Yeah.
see, the
I don't know about
alt-right is interesting in the fact that it's like like fascists, but like atheist fascists. So it's like they're creating a whole different thing.
I'm just saying, define degeneracy. Define it. One person's degeneracy is another one's lifestyle. So define degeneracy.
Dude, you sound like fucking Feinstein.
No, I sound like you. That's exactly what you just tried to do to me. You tried to argue semantics.
No, I'm not. What I'm saying is like you seem to be okay with Milo Yiannopoulos, but it's like
I never
Like,
said
you-
I was okay with Milo. I think he's a disgusting faggot and he should be thrown off a bridge.
excellent.
On spikes.
Yes.
This channel does not condone or accept the harming of homosexuals.
Oh no, I don't want to harm.
Of the homos.
I don't.
Not
wanna,
homos, just me, mostly him in particular.
Yeah, I was gonna say I don't want to harm Milo because he's gay. I just want to harm Milo because he's Milo. I don't like him.
Yeah, I was gonna say that one. That's exactly what it is. It's not because
Pretty sure-
it's because he's him.
I'm pretty sure YouTube's terms of services don't care. Don't be telling people to kill her. You're gonna kill people.
There's like a list. They're like, oh yeah, that checks out. Okay, let it be.
Milo's a conservative. They don't care.
They don't like him.
Milo's a
He's not on
conservative.
their team. He's on Team Israel.
You know, if you always
Well,
have to pick a
speaking
side-
about the left's hypocrisy and Milo, you know that whole thing that came out about Milo condoning pedastry or whatever, and how the left, how the left like went after him for it. And one like there's two people that also were talking shit about him like on Twitter. One of them was Taki, that guy from Star Wars, George Taki.
Takei.
Takei.
Yeah.
Okay,
Mr.
you're
Sulu.
making fun of me.
Mr. Sulu.
Yeah. Anyways, he legitimately also talked. He had a very similar story and also condoned such actions, but has never been called to task for that, like Milo was.
He went after a young guy.
George
George
Takei is just fucking disgusting.
Yeah.
No, he really is. After learning about
And he's
that,
a
that
regular
guy's
on the
fucking
Howard Stern show,
creepy.
so you're gonna kind of expect some aberrant behavior
Yeah.
out of
Just saying,
him.
George Takei would be like, I remember the American concentration camps when I was put in the when I was Japanese with my Japanese ancestry and whatnot. We were put in
What accent is that?
camps.
Yeah, that's not Japanese.
What accent are you using?
Hold on. I'm sorry. We were put in the internment
Yeah,
camps.
He
because
doesn't
of,
sound like that though. He's not Japanese, is he?
Yeah.
He's Chinese.
The Capitals were terrible. We were put in them because of our Japanese ancestry and the Emperor ordering the attack upon Pearl Harbor.
It's such a
Much better.
stereotypical.
Continental Banzai!
Okay, now do an Indian one.
Hold on. I was trying to act my first one was actually much closer to actually how he sounds. Let me see if I can do an Indian one. Thank you, come again.
George Takei does not
That
sound
was
like
awful.
that. He just sounds like
Yeah.
a blistering homosexual. Like he's flaming.
Hello.
gay. Yeah, it's so fucking weird. He's on the Howard Stern show all the time. Like, I mean, what? It's like this is not a paragon of virtue.
George Takei is like,
Why he's even speaking publicly on social issues, I don't fucking understand.
George Takei is he's always bitching about the Japanese thing, about being interned and shit. And all of my reaction to him is, well, you shouldn't have sunk our battleship.
Well, he didn't.
Nah,
That's the problem.
all Japanese people had a turn in tanking our battleship.
I don't know. Honestly, like I've had a couple of people that I was friends with that turned out to be gay, and like when I talk to them about that shit, they're always telling me it's an older dude. Like that must be extremely common with like gay relationships or gay young people to go like fuck old people. Like
Okay, but what about
maybe
women that
that's
like
where the
older men,
fucking
though?
association
Isn't that the same
with
thing as
pederasty
women
comes
that
from.
like older men?
What did you say, Sean?
What?
Isn't
I
that the same
think
thing?
women do like older men.
Oh.
At
Stop
least when
making
they're much
noises.
younger.
Stop that, Christopher
Christopher,
Birch.
stop it.
Bad.
Oh, sorry, I had to put the joint up.
Anyways, it's just as bad, Sean.
I was just checking. I just wanted to see if it was the same thing compared that everyone thought it was the same thing.
And I honestly think the motivations for it are probably similar.
I think homosexuality stems from wanting to get off and having the mentality of holding a heartbeat optional.
I think this live stream is at a dead point.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think this live stream somehow made it back out of the truck, and it's in the pile, but it just won't die.
Well,
I'm not even sure what that means.
goodbye, everybody.
Just saying, Jesus was a zombie.
No, he wasn't, Pax. You get out of the South now.
Oh, are we talking religion again?
Technically, Jesus was a zombie.
Oh, cynics are not going to let you shut it down.
Wait.
Well, I got a button. I can
can't-
push it anytime I
Jesus
want.
That's
was
true.
not a zombie because Jesus wasn't real.
Jesus is
Yeah.
real. Sean. I've already wrecked you on this point.
Oh, did you?
Jesus,
Yeah.
Jesus is like
Hey, it's on this channel. Everyone can hear it, too.
Yeah.
I had you running
Jesus
in
is
circles.
like Harry
That's
Potter
right.
with
You're
worse
like, oh, I gotta go
continuity.
lick my wounds and then I'll be back. And I was like, hey, you better go do that.
I thought you said I got you that time, but you'll be back with better information.
There
or
was
something
one
like that.
point specifically about the Grand Canyon, but everything else I got you on,
Wait, how
especially
the fuck-
about the whale.
How the hell is the Grand Canyon has
Nothing
anything
to
to
do with the Bible.
this?
Oh,
Because the Grand
people-
Canyon shows creation.
Okay, can I say? Well, check this.
No, you can't.
So you believe like Noah's Ark, then, right?
Yes.
Okay. Where did they find or where do they think they found Noah's Ark?
Mount Ararat.
Mount Ararat.
What's the elevation?
They didn't find it though. They didn't find it because, duh, they took apart the ark to build shit. Because why wouldn't they? Everything had been destroyed.
Okay,
Why wouldn't it be the same? Why they cannibalized it?
But do you believe that's generally where it was?
It was on Mount Ararat. Now did
Okay.
that?
What
Wait,
was
no,
the
hold on a minute.
elevation?
Hold on a minute. Where they're calling Mount Ararat, is that the same Mount Ararat that they were calling back then? Because shit changes. Who am I to say?
Okay, but what was about the elevation? Because if you think about it, that
It
means
didn't say in the Bible what the elevation of the fucker
Well,
was.
I'm
But
just
you know
gonna
what a
I'm just
mountain
gonna
is?
say
No, the Bible doesn't say the elevation of the
I'm
mountain.
just gonna say what
It doesn't.
what is a canyon formed from a river?
Because
Has
the
to do with
middle
the mountain.
the middle of the river is higher up than the start of it, and rivers don't flow
wait, what?
upstream.
I'm
The-
confused.
The middle of the Grand Canyon is of a higher elevation than than where it starts.
Look what Jesus did.
There's more evidence that the Grand Canyon would
Wait.
form rapidly
Wait, you're
than
saying
over
that?
millions of years from a river.
Well, they have a scientific theory for that. That's a
You know what it's called? It's called water is heavy as fuck.
Did you ever
and
see
it
like
will
Mount
push
St. Helens?
itself.
Erosion.
And what happened at Mount St. Helens is kind of similar to what happened at the Grand Canyon.
well.
But there's lots of evidences for that
Can I-
why the Grand Canyon points to creation and young earthism.
Well, I'm
If
just
Yeah,
you
but
go to
Mount
And I'm
St.
going to
Helens
study
is
it, and we're going to
further.
hold this debate on this channel as soon
I'm
as I
still
do.
waiting for that
And I'm-
debate. I'm still waiting for that debate between you and Surfing the Caliuga. on
Oh,
why-
that's going to
why
happen,
not-
but I have to destroy Sean G first because this is one that's been coming for like months now.
Okay, but I'm just
So-
saying though, if you look at
Creation
Mount St.
first.
Helens and you look at the Grand Canyon, completely different.
Well,
I'm
we'll
just
get into
saying-
that during the debate.
That
I'm
sounds like
just-
a great
I'm
idea.
just saying the theory.
is. It's grand.
The theory on on rapid creation for the Grand Canyon is during the Ice Age when the glaciers melted, a shit fuck ton of water.
That's what started it.
Swept
Yeah, there used
down.
to be like a super lake or some shit up there.
Like
And
massive as fuck, like the size of a few states,
Yeah.
and deep as fuck.
Well, Pax, when we hold this debate, you should tune in and listen.
Look,
because
hey,
you may
I
learn
believe in
some real
Jesus.
shit.
I believe in Jesus and science.
I do too.
I'm just saying, I believe that God created man, Smith and Wesson made him equal.
Yeah. I can agree with half of that.
I don't know. There's some shit out there called Christian Science. I thought
That
they were
shit is
like
fucking
trying to.
It's called
Yeah, that
No,
is
Christian.
that's
There's
even
two
more
different. No, hold on a
retarded.
minute. Hold on a minute. No, there's creation science and there's Christian science. Christian science is fucking wacko.
Yeah.
Creation science are actual scientists that look at things through a biblical perspective and they validate it through their science.
No, they have
Scientific
not
observations.
validated.
Yes, they have.
There
Yes,
are-
they have.
Okay, look, there are Christians that are scientists and look at things scientifically like they're supposed to, that are faithful. Those people are all right. But the motherfuckers writing books saying shit like the planets are tuned on their axis and make a particular sound that harmonate with Jesus, those fuckers are retarded.
I've never heard that. That's crazy.
Wait, say
Yeah.
again, what? I was reading the chat.
I'm eating pecans. Hold on, somebody say something else.
Something else.
Something, yeah, there you go.
Ain't gave me enough time.
Well, we should
there
have
was-
that debate like soon because
There was a Christian science book about the planets that I was reading at my aunt's, and these fuckers were talking about the position and the way planets orbit the sun, and they were saying the way they rock around their orbit creates a sound that harmonizes with the breath of God.
wow.
Yo,
Huh.
they
Hey, that's some
believe
shit.
in
That's just as crazy as the idea of a flat Earth.
Wow.
Can you
She went
believe that
there.
whole community out there?
The
People that
flat-
believe
no,
there's a flat
the
Earth.
flat Earth
I
has
mean,
to
my
be
God.
a joke. The flat Earth has to be a joke.
No, it's not. It's real.
Oh, holy hell!
That's right. That's right, people. I'm a flat earther. That's
Oh, he's been revealed.
right. And I'll prove it too. Way more. Hang on one sec. I can definitely prove it a lot easier than any
It's
creator.
so funny. I wonder how many people in the chat were all like, "Yeah, go Shachi."
Oh yeah, every time.
Jessica's stupid.
Ruined
And then
it.
also they find out you're a flat earther, and they're like, "Oh."
It can go deeper. But
Are you a
save that for another
earther?
time.
Are you a
He's
hollow
like-
earther as well?
No, fuck that. Hollow earthers and concave earthers are fucking
Do you
retards.
think there's trolls in the middle of the earth?
Look, hearing a flat earther say conclave and hollow earthers are retarded has to be literally
Okay.
the most retarded thing I've
Facts.
ever heard.
Facts. Go outside and tell me where you see curve.
Dude, you're not gonna see a curve if you're standing on it at a certain and you're only a certain size.
Okay. What about 35,000 feet?
You see the curvature of the Earth whenever you see space vehicles being launched and you see the recordings.
The
Oh, wait,
CGI
no.
pictures?
No, that's being shot through a fisheye lens because
What there's
Reasons.
other things. For instance, show me a planet. Show me Earth. A picture of Earth. A real picture. Not a composite. A picture. A raw.
Let me nip this in the bud for you real quick.
You can
What the
try.
fuck would they have to gain from lying to you about the flat Earth?
What do they have to gain about lying about anything?
No, specifically, what do they have to? It doesn't matter. Everything else is irrelevant to this conversation.
Okay.
Why? What would they have to gain for lying to you about flat Earth?
Exploring.
Why?
Exploring what? It's fucking flat. You've seen it all.
No, if they say right now, hey, we've been lying to you, it's a flat Earth, what's the first thing everyone's gonna want to do? See what they haven't seen. But if they tell you exactly what you live on, you're gonna be less likely to want to be exploring everywhere. For instance, how many of you guys have decided to go exploring because you want to know what's over that horizon?
I would do that if I had the fucking money.
Well,
Not to
like
mention-
we were
not to-
already
okay,
doing that
not to-
though.
not to
Like, why
mention-
did we stop doing that to go?
If there was a curve, when
What?
the higher you get, your horizon wouldn't stay at 3%. It doesn't work that way.
It doesn't.
It does. You should do some research before you tell me it doesn't. Your horizon is always at 3% to your eye level. Go look it up.
Because
Scientists even tell you.
perspective is relevant. But it doesn't stay. What you see doesn't stay at 3%.
Yeah,
look it up. You break the atmosphere and you get into orbit.
So when you're at 35,000 feet on a plane, you're telling me
we're talking
the
about
horizon
elevation.
isn't
We're
at 3%?
talking about elevations on vehicles that break orbits. That go into orbit. We're not talking about.
Okay.
Boeing planes.
Okay, in that case, how do all those satellites and all those camera views of planets and all that stuff, how do they get through all that radiation through the Van Allen belt?
How much do you know exactly how much radiation is out there?
9.6. Yeah, actually I do. I can either give you the exact number if you let me get my notes, or I can give you a rough guesstimate.
But you understand these are two different.
Motherfucker gonna break a notes on you.
You understand that this is a completely different theory that you're talking about, right? Because the Van Allen belt, there's enough room for you to go out and orbit the Earth. However, the Van Allen belt prevents you. The Van Allen belt prevents you from going to the moon. So that's two different conspiracy theories.
No, but at the same time, you go to like the Himawari 8, who supposedly Japan is showing constant every 10 minutes pictures of the actual Earth. All those satellites, all those images you guys see, that's from outside the Van Allen belt, not inner orbit or low Earth orbit. Because if you're talking that, then you're talking the ISS.
Does that Japanese satellite have a human crew?
No.
Okay, then the Van Allen belt would passing the Van Allen belt would basically.
You know what radiation does to electrical? It's like an EMP.
Yeah, it's like an EMP, but you can shut it off, and there's no gravity in space, so it can go through it as it's cut off.
Okay, well, I don't agree with that at all.
My uncle was an engineer for the Navy, and he actually informed me he doesn't believe we went to the moon on a manned mission.
No,
However, he does believe that we've sent plenty of probes into outer space because you can actually cut the machinery or cut the electronics off.
But not everything, so the way it was explained to me, the transmitters that turn on and off have to be on at all times. Otherwise, you don't get a signal. Is that wrong?
No, but you can EMP proof it. You can strengthen certain parts of the shuttle or certain parts of the probe.
Then now go on to, you can look, the best one is Himawari because that's the one everyone talks about. Go on there and you can look at the specs and the blueprints on them. There is no any Faraday cage in there at all.
Okay.
And then what I was saying about the ISS, you can go on YouTube right now and go look at a live video from the ISS, correct?
Sure.
Go on there, you see all that nice curve, all that Earth, but then you find out that they only see very little bit. I think it's 3% of Earth is what the ISS sees. So how do they see all that Earth?
I feel like I'm debating with a Kang right now.
A what?
I feel like I'm debating a black Israelite.
No, you're definitely not. But
welcome to Flat Earth, my friend.
I will gladly look all this up, and when I do, like I do frequently with conspiracy theories, and I find that everything you said is wrong, I'm going to come back.
I hope so.
And I'm going to show you exactly what I looked at.
I hope you do.
Okay.
Not to mention, all right, we can go on. We'll do it later. Whatever. Doesn't matter. It's flat.
I mean, I just don't see how that works physically with the sun and day and night and gravity all together.
Well, I'll be completely honest with you. I have no idea how the astrology of it works because I don't know anything about
the sheer physics.
Say again?
Just the sheer physics of how would that even operate is mind-boggling to me.
Well, under the same presumption of the heliocentric idea where everything spins around us and the Earth isn't spinning, why is that so mainstream? It would work the same way on a flat Earth if everything above us is spinning.
Polaris, yeah, but why?
What do you mean?
Why is
Why?
everything
'Cause it
else
is.
spinning?
It
Huh?
why?
literally wouldn't. It would be a
Like, what is the
it would be
reason that it does that?
It'd be a geosynchronous orbit. It'd be in the same position. Just because shit's spinning doesn't mean that it's gonna move.
Wait, what? If it's spinning,
It would be in a
doesn't move?
it would be in a geosynchronous orbit.
Okay, I
It
see
would
what you're
just
saying.
be spinning and staying in one spot.
He means
No, we're
orbiting.
in
It
one
would be
spot,
orbiting
and
around
everything
us.
it orbits
Not
above
spinning.
us.
It would be orbiting above us. I guess they would have their own orbits on some kind of pole that would run
But
down the middle of the
how
earth.
would they orbit without being spherical?
See,
It's called a horizontal orbit. You can look it up.
like
You understand
I just
that
don't
there's
see how on like the large, on the macro
that's
scale,
what it
how
is.
that
Hang on,
works.
hang on.
Like what the
What it
physics
is
of that shit works.
Gravity is
Like-
BS.
okay. Yeah, you've completely lost me. I
Okay.
I
Show me gravity.
jump up and down.
That's mass jumping up and down.
Okay, but what the hell pulls you back down?
Your mass.
And
Yeah.
gravity affects mass. It keeps your
Yeah,
mass
but your
from going
mass is
anywhere.
always the
affects
same.
mass. Density of mass affects your mass. Gravity is BS. Show me gravity.
So when you went up, you changed your density.
No, you don't. Everything has its own density.
Well, how did
So-
you go up?
If you throw a styrofoam cup up, it has a whole lot less density and mass than you do. So obviously, it's not going to go up and down and drop the same way you do.
Yeah, but when you jump, you go up and down.
Yes.
Like, let's not even talk about why you go down. Let's talk about why you go up.
How is it that you're not being crushed right now to the ground because of gravity?
My body supports me.
Yeah, my
Well,
skeletal frame and muscles have the strength
gravity's
to
supposed
support
be
me against
pulling
gravity's
down on
pressure.
you, right?
It is. That's
Like
why we
it-
stay. That's why we
that-
stay firmly. That's why we can.
That's
fall
why
down.
that's like if you go into space, like if you actually spend extended periods in space, you can't
do-
come back.
You
Well, no,
do
that-
realize that in the ISS there's gravity, right?
No, there's not. That's why they
It's
float
zero,
around.
Zero
and
gravity. Are you sure about that?
I think they have spinning modules.
Okay, so
If they
you
have
say
spinning
you
modules, it
say
imitates gravity.
ISS has zero gravity.
Yeah.
How is it that the moon is in tidal lock because of Earth's quote unquote gravity? And it's when you kick a basketball.
But the Earth isn't in tidal lock. It orbits
the
around us
moon.
as we is.
The moon-
is
the
in
moon-
tidal
The
lock.
moon isn't
the
in
only-
tidal lock.
Wow.
The
did you just say the
moon
moon's
doesn't
not
have
tidal
it
lock?
doesn't have it doesn't have the momentum to spin. It doesn't have the energy. Like if
Okay, let's
something
get
were to
to-
hit it,
Before
if something
you
were to
guys-
hit it, it
before
wouldn't
you
be
guys
tidal
wanna
locked
argue
anymore.
Flat Earth with me, I need you guys to go do some research because for one, the moon is tidal locked. If
Yeah,
you don't
it
know what
is.
tidal
No,
lock
no,
is,
no.
it's
How-
okay
then how
for you to
come-
say,
then
I
how
don't know
come-
what it is.
Then how come? No, the moon is not tidal locked. How come it fucking experienced a day and night cycle? It does
The
not.
moon doesn't.
tidal
The
lock
moon
is?
does not experience a day-night cycle.
Do
It's
you know what a
tidal
tidal
lock.
lock is?
There's a dark side and a light side. They're always dark and always light. There is no night and day.
That
All right,
is not
I'll
true.
just end this with a quick Google search.
Okay. First, yeah, please do, please. And then I would love a heartful no. I want that George Decay apology. That
I agree with you on this, Shanji. I agree with you on this.
I'm a sorry. Is that what you want?
First of all, do you understand what tidal lock is before you say the moon isn't in tidal lock?
Tidal
You
lock.
understand that the
Tidal
dark
lock
side of
means
the moon-
a tidal
The
lock
dark
means
side
that
of the
it is
moon
locked
is
upon
not
its
always
axis.
dark. You know that, right?
A tidal lock, from what I've read and what I know what I've been told is that it is locked and it doesn't spin on its axis. It can orbit a star or planet, but it doesn't spin.
Yeah.
Okay. First,
That's what it
first of all,
means.
What I'm explaining
means
right
there's
now
no
is
night
how
and
they
day.
explain it. Okay.
The moon
It's a-
actually has a day and night cycle that lasts 28 days.
Okay.
It
The
takes
moon is in
28
tidal
days to
lock.
rotate around its axis.
It rotates
I literally just read
around-
it.
Yeah, but the same face always faces us. The face that
And
faces
that
us
is-
never moves.
Okay, but that's the thing. That's first of all the reason we see
Do
only
you-
one
okay,
side of the
this
moon.
this is what
because it's tidal lock.
this is what the official definition of tidal lock is. Tidal lock is the name given to the situation when objects orbital period matches its rotational period. A great example of this is our own moon. The moon takes 28 days to go around Earth, and it takes 28 days to rotate around once its axis. This results in the same face of the moon always facing the Earth.
Now, who said the moon isn't tidal locked?
I did.
Okay, so are you?
No,
sorry?
I'm not. No, because you were still wrong. You said that it doesn't spin on its axis, that it doesn't experience a night cycle.
Whoa! I did not say it doesn't spin on its own axis, because I was just about to explain to you that tidal lock is that.
Okay, so what does the moon being on tidal lock have anything to do with the Earth being flat?
The fact that it's based on supposed Earth's gravity, and if that is the case, then how is it that the same gravity that affects the moon, that's 239,000 miles away, doesn't affect us in any kind of way like that, where you're able to jump? But it can give the moon a fucking nipple, like, you know, basketball when it goes lopsided.
Yeah.
You know the moon's doing that, right? And then vice versa, the moon's gravity is
Do
doing that to
you
Earth.
understand essentially what an orbit is?
What does the orbit have to do with what I'm saying right now?
Orbit is falling.
Okay, so
the gravity of Earth has pulled the moon into position. The moon is constantly falling around Earth.
Well, look, you have to think about it like this. No, listen. You have to think about it like this.
Hang on, Pax. Closer to Earth?
No, it's falling around because the moon is moving.
Okay, but what you're saying is it's staying in either the same distance and or getting closer because it's falling to Earth, is what you're saying, right?
Orbit is essentially falling around a planet.
Okay, well then explain to me why the moon is falling 2 inches away from the Earth every year. Go ahead. Maybe because just like when something gets slingshotted out of a planet's orbit, maybe it's. I'm not a fucking.
That's exactly what it is.
It can't slingshot out of its orbit because of gravity. So
that's what it's doing. That means that the gravity around the Earth. That means that the gravity that Earth is pulling down is getting weaker. That means the magnetic field is being weaker.
You're telling me that
dude, essentially, basically, what flat Earth theory is a bunch of people that have never studied astronomy trying to tell astronomers and people that even look at it as a hobby what's going on.
It has nothing to do with astronomy. It doesn't work on a physics level.
It works on all levels. It works. Okay, so then you understand quantum, like the whole quantum theory and all that.
Look,
torus fields, you know all that stuff, right?
You don't have to go into quantum theory.
Yes, you do. 100% you do. You do realize that they're trying to figure it all out under the quantum theory right now.
All you have to do, like, look, on the scales that we're talking about, like, in the grand scheme of things, the moon and Earth act as a unit. Like, they aren't even a single mass on, like, they probably act as a single unit, a single mass on space time.
If they acted as a single unit?
Because they're so fucking close together. And to be honest with you, the moon is not all that fucking big. Our planet is not all that big, you know? Compared to anything else. Most planets are gas planets. Like, they're huge.
You also have to understand when it comes to gravity, the sun's gravitational pull is also working on all celestial bodies.
And at the same time, we're also moving in relation to everything else. We are being consumed by the sun.
The thing about gravity is literally everything that is orbiting the sun is constantly pushing and pulling each other away while it orbits the sun.
We are being pulled into the sun.
I am not educated in physics or astronomy, and I don't believe you are either.
Nope.
This is irrelevant for us to be talking about. Really,
no, it's not, because there's still facts. We can still research and find out.
But the thing is, the flat Earth is proven to be non-fact.
Okay, but that's the issue, though. How many people in the chat? How many people here on this panel don't think about these things? They just take their word for it.
I don't know. I kind of thought about it quite a bit.
What, in like the last 10 minutes, or?
No, just normal, like, you know.
Why would you? What does it matter? Is it going to put food on your table? Is it, politics is something people should care more about than is the Earth flat.
Well, who do you think's doing most of the bullshitting? Matter of fact, you do realize that it matters because NASA,
Some flat Earth and white
organizations that do
nationalists.
space travel bullshit. You do realize that your taxes pay them, right?
Yeah, but it's 2 o'clock in the morning. I'm getting 3 hours of sleep. I gotta go hang out fucking post chair all day.
You pay $59 million a day. American people pay for NASA. What has NASA done in the past 10 years?
Mostly they just send out satellites now.
No, they launch satellites, and from what I've heard,
they don't. No, they
from
don't.
what I've heard, they've helped private companies launch communication satellites as well.
Yeah, that's what they do
SpaceX,
basically.
Elon Musk, they do it now.
Yeah, but they just come about in the past few years, like maybe 5 or 10 years.
They just came public in the past few years.
Yeah, look.
Well, how many things has NASA invented in the last 10 years that we use?
Zero.
Really, zero? I bet that's not true.
Well, you got to remember, 2 years ago they just reinstated NASA.
And that they sit there and they look at the stars too. I mean, they're not doing it.
Look at the stars.
No, so
they do a lot of shit, bro. They don't just go to space.
Astronomers work for NASA.
No, they don't.
No, they don't.
Really? Wait a minute.
Go look.
Yeah, NASA doesn't have anybody. Doesn't have
they obviously, but most astronomers don't work for NASA.
Oh yeah, most right, of course.
Like 99%. All those observatories. NASA doesn't own any of those. When you asked about the flat Earth, what it really is, it just makes you question the bullshit that is all around us. That's
I just don't like this is what I'm saying though. Like I don't understand how does a flat Earth interact with space time? Like how does that even work on that level?
Well,
of physics.
The thing about
conspiracy
theory, the thing about conspiracy theories are they are your own natural distrust and non-education of the topic.
Okay, so is 9/11 a conspiracy to you?
Dude,
I think we all know who did it.
Honestly, when it comes to 9/11,
and I'm not asking for like details.
The thing is, when it comes, I don't know. Okay. I'm going to tell you honestly, I don't know what 9/11 was because there's the official story and there's a war about it. But then when you actually study the official story, there was a bunch of fucking bullshit that happened. So yeah, sure. Okay. There are some things that are legitimate. There are some conspiracy theories that may be legitimate and are legitimate concerns. But you could also explain some of that shit with both coincidence and understanding of human life, of how chaotic life can be. When you talk about trying to fundamentally change people's opinion, dumb. Hold on. Let me finish your question.
Okay. My bad.
The difference between 9/11 and flat Earth is you can chalk up some of that shit to 9/11.
We said conspiracies. We're not talking flat Earth. Now we're talking conspiracies.
Flat Earth is a conspiracy theory. Okay. It's the conspiracy theory that they're lying to you.
You're right.
When you talk about 9/11 and other shit, you can chalk that up to humans being fucking stupid. Governments want and desire to lie about fucking everything to the point where there's really no point in it. You can chalk it up to so many things. So the chaotic way life exists. When it comes to flat Earth, that's fundamentally trying to change things that are established science. That are things that children learn in third grade.
Wait. So before the globe model, they didn't believe it was flat?
Look, bro, I don't care how many selfies you take in a plane when you fly in somewhere. The Earth is fucking round.
Dude,
show me.
Mathematicians in Greece. Mathematicians in Greece were able. Mathematicians in Greece were able to calculate roughly calculate. It wasn't an exact calculation. They were able to roughly calculate the distance around the Earth at the equator using mathematics.
Let Let me ask you this question: these people that are sailing around the world, how the fuck are they doing that?
I'm so happy you said that. So happy.
I want to know, like, how you guys explain that shit, because that's going to be an easier one to do, and it's going to make more sense to me.
Are you going to let me answer? You do realize that there was a before the globe model, right?
Okay.
Correct, right?
No, I didn't know that. Like, I'm pretty sure, like, they all thought it was flat, like they said before, like, about Christopher Columbus and all that bullshit you learn in school that's not even true.
They decided that it was a globe. Okay.
That's false, man. I just told you. In the BC era, fucking Greek mathematicians were able to roughly calculate the equatorial distance of the Earth. That means the distance around the Earth.
Wait, when?
In the BC era, before Christ.
Okay.
Mathematicians in Greece.
Yeah, there were some mathematicians using shadows and shit.
Using shadows and
geometry
on the Earth.
Actually, that was in the 1500s. First of all,
no, it was I'll actually look it up. 'Cause I'm not sure. I don't want to say it was Plato, but I'm pretty sure it was Plato.
You're very confused. I'm telling you that right now because it was in the 1500s that the globe model was brought to surface.
Oh my god!
And because of that, I say before the 1500s, they were still sailing ships, navigating, being nomads, all with flat maps and flat knowledge.
The maps is still flat.
Thank you. So you tell me how people sail.
No, they traveled by the stars.
Yeah, they traveled by the stars, and they used a map to plot a rough course.
Yeah. Here's the
maps
thing.
Maps are flat because it's easier to show a representation of position on a flat surface than a.
Yeah, you'd have to carry around a fuck ton of globes.
Before the globe model, how did they navigate then?
Through maps and charts. And
they also made maps of like forests and roads and stuff, but just because it's on a flat piece of paper didn't mean they thought the Earth was flat.
Okay, make a map of the Earth.
Dude, you do realize? Look. Let me blow your fucking. No. You guys hold on. Let me blow his mind. I'm gonna blow his fucking mind real quick. All right, I'm gonna blow your fucking mind.
I'm ready.
Let me tell you something about fucking maps. All right, bro.
Yep. Tell me about maps.
How perfect are you?
Hold on. Uno momento. I have to answer that question.
Yeah, let me ask you that question. How perfect are you?
Like on a scale like 1 to 10?
On a scale of like perfect or not perfect.
Well, it's got to be.
It only works one way.
No one's perfect.
Perfect is not a spectrum, my friend.
Hey, let me answer that question real quick for him.
And perfect is impossible.
Esoterathes of Kaya. I can't read these Greek names, but he was a Greek mathematician, geographer, poet, astronomer, and music theorist. He was a man of learning. Became the chief librarian of the Library of Alexandria. He invented the discipline of geography, including the terminology used today. He's best known for being the person that calculated the circumference of the Earth, which he did by comparing altitudes of the midday sun at two places, a known north-south distance apart. Hang
on. Which is so people that don't understand is the stick method, where you put the stick in the ground and you measure the shadows.
His calculation was remarkably accurate. He was also the first to calculate the tilt of the Earth's axis, again with remarkable accuracy. Additionally, he may have accurately calculated the distance from the Earth to the Sun and invented the leap day. He created the first map of the world, incorporating parallels and meridians based on the available geographic knowledge of his era.
And what year was that?
It doesn't tell you the exact year, but he was born in 276 BC and he died in 194 BC.
Well, I guess you were right then on that part.
Well, the thing about it is if you're able to calculate the circumference of the Earth, that makes the Earth a globe.
I can tell you circumference, the area, and everything on a flat, and it works the exact same.
The thing about circumference is there's only a circumference in a globe.
Let's just get real, okay?
There's not.
Let's get really real. I'm gonna blow your fucking mind. I'm telling you. Do you think the Earth is a globe?
No.
Okay. Pax, what shape do you think the Earth is?
I think it's a sphere.
I don't think it's a sphere. I'm gonna tell you right now. I think it's like an oblate spheroid. I think it has
Well, that's what
grooves in
that's
it
he meant the same
because
thing.
the moon pulls on it and stuff like that. And it actually
Yeah,
affects it.
yeah, but
Then
come
of
on.
course you have
No,
topographical features.
I think that's what Pax meant.
Now,
Hey, come
now
on.
when okay, but I mean it makes a difference because you what you guys are talking about is actual representations of shit. Like you're talking about like, oh well the maps were flat and like that means the earth was flat. Like look how you can show it on a map. Like do you realize like you can take a map and you can measure the coastline of something and you can have 6 people measure a fucking coastline and come up with wildly different fucking
Well,
answers?
actually, it's a paradox actually because the smaller the measurement you use,
It'll
more-
grow.
Yeah,
Yes.
it'll grow. You can never perfectly measure a coastline.
Now
Like-
go look at it, any map that it says, like for instance the AE map. All of them say they're projections of a globe map, correct? Now go look, because South America, Australia, Greenland, all those places, none of them are proportional to the real size at all.
No, they're not, and they say it on there.
Yeah.
Usually on the new ones.
Do
Like
you
when
know?
you get
do
them,
you-
it says
Yeah.
not to
Go
actual size.
Do you know why the maps are not to actual size?
Can you please go and
Because
look
you
online?
can't. Because you cannot have an.
You wouldn't be able to
actual
see
size.
some of them.
Well, no,
No,
you
no,
don't.
no,
You
no.
cannot.
No, no.
You cannot have a representation of the actual size of a spherical object on a flat surface.
Okay. Now go look at a globe that does the same thing.
On a globe, they
Yeah.
usually don't.
Yeah, they do. They do.
Go look
They
at a
do.
globe at the
They're-
store.
It has
The same
writing on
thing.
it, and it'll say not to scale or something like that.
Okay. So then-
Something to that effect,
mean-
and that some of these countries and some of these places are so fucking small.
Okay.
You can't
now
like even on that fucking globe, they can't fit them. It's a line
Okay.
with initials.
Okay, so then what you would say is the only way to actually get a representation of what a continent size really is from space.
Go start a Kickstarter. Get you a measuring
Go to
tape.
space. Go to space now.
Get you a
Space now.
measuring. Get you a
Flat
measuring
Earth or not.
tape. Film yourself going from the
2019.
4 corners of the Earth, and then when you
Oh,
don't
God.
hit it,
Wait,
when
No,
you don't hit
no,
it,
hold on. We already figured this out. Me and Sean are
Four
going.
corners on a globe.
Me and Sean are going to get together and start a GoFundMe so we can go down to Antarctica and see what's on the other side of the ice wall.
That's
We planned this months ago.
Yes, we did.
Bro, I don't understand how that interacts in space time. Like
Okay, no.
no.
The reason I said something about space was because if you go, what you're saying about no maps being able to be accurately depicted. So the only way you would see how big, let's say, South America really is from space, correct?
I just don't see how that works in actual space. Like I don't see how, like in a 3D space, I don't see how that works. Like where you have shit acting on it. Like how could it not be then folded into a sphere, like under its own gravity, or like let's throw gravity out the
Yeah,
window.
of course. How
How does its impression on space time actually form its own localized time?
Okay, well,
Like
if you really
like you know, different places have like localized time. Like if you go to the
Here's the
moon,
thing. If
you
really
actually have
wanna
a
get into-
different
if you wanna
rate
get
of
into
time.
Space and time, we can, because you may assume that I don't know what I'm talking about, but trust me, I do my research. I learn a lot. Trust me. I'm telling you now, all that shit is crap, and I can prove it. So anything
Physics
that's-
is crap.
okay. So the basis of
What?
the basis of reality and or what do you call it?
May the flying spaghetti monster have mercy on their soul.
Reality or relativity.
Give me
and
the
time. There
red
you
pill
go.
so I
There
can
you go.
unplug from this.
Basically,
Matrix.
they say that the speed of light is the fastest. Nothing can go as fast as the speed of light. Correct?
I disagree with
Pretty
that,
much.
but that's what they say.
Okay. Well, there's a problem with that because darkness is just as fast.
Because it's the absence of light.
It's the opposite. just as fast.
No,
though. You can't say
it's not the
you can't
opposite.
tell me
You,
that
you
it's not-
basically just held
No,
one
no,
hand
no,
up.
no,
You
no,
basically
no, no.
you
You're
basically
playing a semantic trick on yourself.
he basically just
absolutely
held.
not.
He
That's
basically
just one
just
piece of it.
well, hold on. He basically just held one hand up with matter in it, the other hand up with antimatter, and said, "Explain this shit."
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. Explain to me dark fucking matter. You want to know you can't? Because they can't.
Science already has.
Yeah, but you
Whoa,
do
hang on.
understand all empty space is not dark matter.
Hang on, Christopher. Pat.
Like
You
empty
just say-
space does exist.
I'm gonna fucking this guy. You're gonna piss me off, and I'm gonna go to fucking masters in fucking astronomy and physics, and come
Sean-
back and be like, "Look,
Did
motherfucker."
you say that dark? They know what dark matter is. Is that what
Sean
you
is very good at frustrating people.
Oh,
That's
yeah,
why I
that's
like
what I
him
do.
on.
I'm not mad. It's just fucking.
No.
I didn't say mad. I said frustrating.
Pat,
Sean is a
did
very
you say-
frustrating person.
Did you say that they know what dark matter is?
It's fucking dark matter. That's what it is.
Well, okay, what's dark matter? You said the name, but what is it?
It's part of Black Lives Matter.
I'll give you that one. No, seriously though. If you look, the problem is that you hear it and you repeat it and then you believe it. But if you look into these things, there are problems with all of them.
There's plenty of fucking problems with flat Earth too.
You're right. There is. We haven't figured all of it out yet. I haven't had 500
That's-
to figure it out.
That's why I'm glad you just said that. That's why until science can say here's the big book of everything and why it is that way. Until they can do that, I'm happy to allow people to believe in God.
They do
Thank
make
you.
those. They're kind of called encyclopedias.
But
And
do
then
they
there's
have?
the
But do they
internet.
have? But the thing is, they have to constantly change them because new things are being discovered, and if some old things are being disproven. So
Thank
until you can give me a definite book that says here's exactly everything that's going on and exactly why it does that, I'm happy.
Well,
to let people
goddamn,
think whatever.
motherfucker! Stop being cheap and invest in your education.
I think, sir, I am already.
When they come knocking on that door to sell you the Encyclopedia Britannica, you get you the full leather-bound set.
No, because they don't have to buy. They don't have to buy the next one in 5 years because something has either been disproven or fucking something new's been discovered.
And that's what flat Earth. That's why flat Earth is where it's at, because a whole bunch of shit's been disproven and/or been gone. Hey, that sounds fuckery. That sounds like a lot of fuckery.
You know what's sad?
No.
Anybody who has kids right now, their kids will never understand that joke.
Yeah, my son has no clue what an encyclopedia is.
Well, that's sad.
They're like,
Well,
they
Sean-
used to put paper inside of leather.
What?
I told my son I went skydiving and I had it recorded on a VHS. He looked at me like I was crazy.
Well,
He's like,
Sean,
what the fuck do you do with that?
okay, Sean, if you could do do all of us a favor and get your flat Earth people together and try to come up with an answer for why would they tell us it's flat, that'd be very appreciative because that's the main
I told
question that can never be answered.
I told you if they said there was,
Because then we go exploring.
Hold on, Christopher, let him talk.
If they knew of areas, or if we found out there were areas that hadn't been explored or seen, 1 million people would want to go explore and see it or see.
And you think
That's
it's
not an
because
answer.
you think it's
Yeah, it
because
is,
there's
because
some Indian people over there and they don't want us to mess with them? Like they trying to just leave them alone?
Yeah,
I'll put it this way: if someone said on the outside of the ring was all white people and only white people, I bet you believe in flat Earth then.
No,
Okay, guys.
That kind of sounds like they're dicks.
That's just,
Like, I mean, the way you say it, makes it seem like they got it really good, and it's like, well, what the fuck? Why am I down here? What the fuck did I do?
wait. Exactly. And if that was the case, wouldn't you want to go there?
I mean, I guess, but
There you go.
you kind of have to show me it's fucking there first. Like, I'm not that guy jumping off the bridge with you, bro.
People, come on, it's fun. You can fly. Just
You
take some Red
you
Bull.
go first.
No, I'm one of the people that understand. If I thought I could fly, why not do it from the ground?
Well, like I honestly, the whole flat Earth thing, like you gotta like that would break physics as we know it.
But that's exactly what the quantum.
Not on the quantum level.
No.
It
We are
breaks
not
all
getting back into
fundamental laws of physics.
No, Sean, stop. We're done. You want to go get a live stream going? Go over there and fight on it. We're out of here, people.
Stop it.
Hey, that's